weight class overview, weight class review, something along those lines. For this time, we done the fly guys, we did the bantamweights. Now, a day later, we have the featherweights, another very good weight class. Probably not the best one, I just think bantamweight's a bit better, but on par with the flyweights, probably a little bit better than the flyweights. And, yeah, back for our third weight class overview, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm probably just gonna call these the flyweight roster going into 2026 or some shit. And we'll find you're in the know before I do, but, yeah, we'll see the title and all that, but you get the idea. Yeah, featherweight, a weight class that has only had 5 champions, so, you know, high standard. Always been a pretty strong weight class ever since its fucking creation. Legends, Aldo, Holloway, Volk. Illinois not a legend yet, but he's gotta be. Fucking, like, Connor when he was good. It's featherweight, what can you say? It's the most prestigious title to have, I would say. And, yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. Hopefully we don't go almost 3 hours like bantamweight. I make no promises, but I feel like it's unlikely. Because, yeah, featherweight's a good weight class, but I don't think it's as strong as bantamweight. The only weight classes that are lightweight and welterweight. So, this, hopefully, knock on wood, this before I learned how long ago at the end. More than likely, this won't go the 3 hours that bantamweight did, but who knows? There are some really good fighters in this weight class, but there are some very bad ones and not good ones worth talking about as well, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. My voice ain't, but you know, it is what it is. Hope y'all are enjoying this idea so far. You got plenty more of these to come out, and yeah, I'm happy I came up with this idea because I just think it's a really fun idea. It's perfectly me to waste 2-3 hours talking about fighters, so I love it, I enjoy it, and yeah, I'm recording this on 2 a.m. on January 1st, so, you know, great, but yeah, first video 2026 recording-wise, and yeah. Hope y'all are enjoying this so far. We gotta do something about fights. Why not this? Yeah, what else can I really say? 2 weight classes down, 10 to go, I believe, right? Featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, strawweight, flat, 9 to go. I was close. Yeah, gonna be fun. Featherweight, very good weight class. We don't get to shitty weight classes till after we get past welterweight, because then you got 3 in a row, and then we kind of come back with strawweight and flyweight. So, you know, we're starting off strong, and we're in with women's bantamweight, so we're end shitty. The middle and end are gonna be a little shitty, but the beginning is the strongest, and lighter man's go. If you want to look at it that way. So, that being said, I'm gonna stop rambling so we don't go 3 fucking hours with this. We got a lot of fights to talk about. I feel like it's less than bantamweight a little bit, because I think a lot of the guys they're gonna put are like either guys who are not even on the roster or bantamweights. So we'll see. But yeah, let's fucking get into it, man, shall we? We got top 15 and a bunch of unranked guys to talk about, so let's do just that, shall we? Before we do, the last thing to say is, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to go by the end of 2026. Still weird to say that. By the end of this, I'll be used to saying that. As always, unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I don't believe I am. Third one, next time we do this, we'll be starting down here. So let's get down with the featherweights, and the most prestigious weight class champion-wise. I'm excited. Don't be as long as the bantamweights, please. I'm okay with these two being. I'm praying. Alright, I'm talking to you. Don't be as long as those fucking bantamweights. Let's see what happens. You ready? I know I am. Let's begin. The featherweights. Beginning with the champion, even though I completely forgot he is the champion at times, because it's like I thought we were done with him as champion. We love him. Him being champion is kind of weird, because he's not been the most active. As we have the champion that of the featherweight, the first champion I can say is more than likely not going to be champion by the end of the year. And we have Alexander Volkanovski, the greatest featherweight of all time, first belt Hall of Famer, 2-time champ, got the belt back, fighting at the end of January in a stupid fight. We're going to talk about more of his opponent. Yeah, what can you say about Volk? I think we're gonna see his last few fights, probably through this year or in 2027. Like, it's just, again, him being champ just kind of feels off. It feels like every other weight class has kind of went forward. We're kind of going backwards with featherweight. As much as we love Volk and it's cool that he is champ again, it's like, I thought we were past him, but I guess not. I do think he is the first, again, like I said, between him, Van, and Piotr, I think he's the first champ where I can say, yeah, he's probably not going to be champ by the end of the year. He's either going to retire or lose, unless he only fights one time again and sits on his ass for most of the year cooking. We'll see. But, yeah, who doesn't love Volk? Great guy, great fighter, great chef, Hall of Famer, GOAT featherweight. Still, again, I've forgot many times during 2025 that he was the champion because he wasn't fighting. But who doesn't love him? It's Volk, for fuck's sake. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe, who knows? He might not even be champion by the second month of the year. We'll see. But yeah, just so easily the least interesting champion we've talked about so far. Because Van's new, Piotr got the belt back. Volk's like, yeah, we love him, but like we just did this a few years ago for like 4 years, so I don't know. Love Volk, not trying to talk bad about him, but it's like we just got rid of you, and then you're champion a year later. So I don't know. I'm happy for him, but at the same time, I would not be upset if we moved forward. But it's what it is. You want someone else to be champ, they gotta earn it. Let's see if they can dethrone the great for the second time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will be champ by the end of the year. Maybe he is still fighting 2027. Time will tell with the greatest featherweight of all time. Now we can talk about everyone chasing him, beginning with the guy who everyone pretends deserves a title shot, even though he has 0 finishes in the UFC and like 8 wins now. The extremely boring inbred pedo Mansur Evloev. Yeah, I'm not gonna say much here. I will say, I can say I would have rather saw him get the title shot over Lopez at this point. But outside of that, he sucks. He's boring. He's a pedo. And again, people don't understand. If he just had one finish, you can give him a title shot. But he's too fucking boring. He's the most boring fighter possible. Did anyone even remember his last 3 fights? No, because this was terrible. This was lame, and he lost this fight, really. He's shit. What else can I say? He's boring, he's shit. Volk would destroy him. Larone's gonna destroy him. And, he's a pedo. So, most importantly, fuck you, Evloev, for more than reasons than just being a boring can. But mainly for just being a boring can. There you go. He's just a shittier Ankalaev. Truly, and I respect Ankalaev much more because I just think he has a bit of talent. Evloev's just a boring bitch. He's just a Nurmagomedov wannabe. And a pedo. Hey, even the Nurmagomedovs don't do that. Come on, though. They fuck goats, and they don't go that far. Next. Speaking of fighters we love in the division, but we kind of gotta be honest with. Kind of like Volk. I don't like to be mean, but after a while, we kind of gotta start being honest with you guys. And next, we have another fighter we all love. But it's like, can we get something else? Everyone's favorite Mexican, aka Brazilian, Alexa Grasso's favorite. Why is he getting a title shot? Diego Lopez. Again, I don't want to talk bad about Diego. I love Diego. We all love Diego. He's exciting. He's a good guy, etc. Same thing with Volk. You know, Volk, I wouldn't say he's exciting, but he's a good guy and a good fighter. Diego's a good guy, good fighter, exciting. But can we be honest? Like I have said, and I'll continue to say, why the fuck is he getting a title shot rematch a year later after 1 win? He doesn't deserve it. He truly does not deserve it at all. It's annoying. It's really annoying. And I don't want to talk bad about Diego, but how can you not hear? It's like, why is he getting a title shot after he lost to this guy a year ago in a fight that was fucking terrible? And what? So either he wins and you do a trilogy that no one wants, or he loses and you make everyone look fucking right for calling stupid. So, like, the fighter, Diego, great. Coming off that Gene win, great. But getting a title shot here is bullshit. He should be fighting Yair, and then Lerone, or actually he should be fighting Evloev, and Lerone should be getting a title shot, but UFC's fucking stupid. The UFC is stupid. Everything people say about this fight is true. It's fucking pathetic. It's a complete disgrace to the sport. This makes the Patty fight look fucking smart. And goddamn, how stupid is that fight? So, I'm not trying to shit on Diego, and who doesn't like Diego, but it's like, why is he getting the title shot? I truly don't understand it. And what else can you say? If he loses, it makes everyone look even more correct and makes UFC look even dumber. And if he wins, then it's like, cool, but now we gotta watch a trilogy? Like, why? I don't know. I hate talking bad about Diego, but when it's warranted, it's warranted, and it's warranted here. Why the fuck is he getting a title shot? Now, if he would have got one more win, then fine. But it's like, it's just fucking dumb. So, I don't know. I don't know what to really say. It's just like, UFC's trying to make us hate guys that we love, and it's working to an extent. Like, why? Just why? See what happens. The best thing I can say is hopefully it's better than the first fight. That's a low bar. We're gonna see. I don't know what else to say. I hate talking bad about Diego, but it's warranted. It is fucking warranted. Not much else to say there. Next, we have the guy Diego should be fighting, or should have fought by now. The guy who's kind of just forgotten in this weight class. I have no idea why he's still in the top 5 off of doing nothing for 3 years. We have the second best Mexican in the weight class, and Diego's not even fucking Mexican, but he's better. We have Yair Rodriguez, the first man that almost got an unwarranted Volk title rematch. Does anyone even remember Yair? Like, what the fuck has he done in the last couple of years? He's fought one time a year. Volk beat his ass, Ortega beat him, and then fucking that Pitbull one was shit. He beat his last like actual like cool, interesting fight was the Emmett fight. That's cool. This is a no contest, and then Max beat him in a fun fight. It's like, Yair just reminded me of a featherweight Sandhagen. Like, yeah, he's there. People think he's a top guy in the division when he's not, and I think Corey's actually better than Yair. I think Yair's having, I don't want to say pampered, or just like gifted a little bit of a like easier schedule than most. Like, there's no reason he should be in the top 5. There's no reason he should have been able to duck around Lerone, Evloev, fucking Diego, Gene Silva, all these guys, with ease, but he gets to fight Ortega twice and shitty Pitbull. It's like, he's there, he's a gatekeeper at best. Like, I just don't think much. He's getting older, and he's like in his like mid-30s at this point. Like, he's 33. I know he's coming off an injury, he just had surgery or some shit, so who knows when he fights in 2026. We're gonna find out. He's just there. He's that, like, when you look at these, at least at like higher the ranking, you got fine, cool, yeah, even that makes more sense, fine, and then it's like Yair, a guy who fights once a year and has done really nothing since that Emmett fight, so I don't know, he's just there. He's just the Sandhagen of featherweight, so he's just a overrated gatekeeper. And again, I think Sandhagen's much better, so I don't know what to really say. So hopefully we see Yair sometime this year. Him and Steve Garcia would be kind of cool. I would really like to see that. That'd be a sweet Fight Night main event. And yeah, why is he still in the top 5? 3, no less. Dude, has already done fuck nothing in like 4 years, so I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't never really thought that highly of Jair. He's cool about it. He's there. Fight Diego. Unless he's fighting Diego, who gives a shit? Whatever. Next, we have the man who should be getting a title shot on January 31st, but UFC's for some reason fucking him over because reasons. We have the clear number one contender in the weight class, Lerone Murphy. Can you make a case for him being the best fighter in the weight class right now? Volk being older and Diego losing to Volk, especially if he does again. Yeah, Lerone's really fucking good. If Volk retires right now, let's say fucking Volk beats Lopez and just hypothetically retired, I would say Lerone's clear cut the next champion because he's better than Evoy, even if they do that fight, which is apparently going to be an England Fight Night main event. He's easily winning that fight because he's just better. And so, like, but they shouldn't have to do that. He should just be fighting Volk in January. It's no fucking sense, man. I get he beat unranked debutant. So what? Who gives a fuck? So, give him a title shot. Do something different. God damn it. So, we'll see. Hopefully, Lerone does get his title shot in 2026 eventually. And, yeah, it's bullshit that he's been screwed out of it here for a Diego rematch no one asked for or wanted. So, yeah, it's annoying, but the UFC's fucking stupid, man. If he is gonna fight Evoyev in fucking that London card, cool. Should be the co-main to Charles and Holloway, but whatever. Cool. Yeah, if he wins that, you can't deny him. Or you gonna give Yair the title shot next? It's like, get fucking real. So, Lerone's getting fucked over, but what else can you really say? Are we shocked anymore by stupid shit? They gave this guy a title shot for no reason. Where I can't give Kai Asakura a fucking shot out because he's not even ranked because he's so shitty. And nothing new. And hopefully Paramount tells him to stop doing stupid shit because that shit's not gonna work anymore. Hopefully shit changes. Give the deserving fighter a title shot, not a guy who just lost. Bullshit. Justice for Lerone. Next, I'm not gonna waste time here. We all know this actor, little bitch. And we have the number 5 ranked guy, who I'll say it, if he had the title shot, I'd be more okay with it than Diego, and that says a lot. We have the number 5 ranked former bantamweight champ, quote, even though he never won the bout, and then he beat a bunch of shitty fighters afterwards. We have the, for some reason, top 5 after doing nothing, Aljamain Sterling, the number 1 actor in UFC history. Actor lame. Yep, he's still the same boring can he always was at bantamweight. He's, 2-0 or 2-1 at featherweight. Beat Qatar, meaningless. Beat Ortega, meaningless. Lost to Evloev, you suck. Yeah, he'll fight. We'll see what he does. I think him as well would make a lot of sense. Cool co-main to like an Apex card or some shit. That's an easy win for Sterling, I'd imagine. And then, or actually you can feed Yair to him if you really wanted, but I doubt they want to do that because there's better guys you could do that with who would be more entertaining. And, yeah, Aljo sucks. He's just Marab's bag carrier. He always has been, will be. And he will never get past or live past being an acting little bitch like he was versus Piotr. Next, we have another kind of the British Jair in this division, a guy who's just kind of there and always has been. You know, he is fighting in a few weeks, so we'll see how that turns out. As we have the number 6 ranked, who feels like he's been ranked since beginning of goddamn time. The very decent, if not maybe a little overhyped, Arnold Allen. Arnie's okay. Like, I think Arnie's good, but has he really always been deserving of like being a top 5, top 7 dude? No. He's cool. I don't dislike Arnie, but like, let's be honest. Has he really done anything to really deserve being in the top like 7 in the division forever? He lost to Max, he lost to Evloev, he beat Giga. Ooh, beat Cater, Hooker, Yusuf. Those are awful wins. Like, I'm not saying Arnie's bad, but I look at it again like Yair, like he's cool. And I actually think he's much better than Yair. But it's like, being realistic, is Arnie really like a top 10 guy in this division? I think Melky Zael Costa's better, and Kevin Vallejos is better. Gene Silva's gonna beat him, so like Arnie's just kind of always been a dude who's there. Never really been able to hit the ceiling people want him to hit. He's never gonna sniff a belt or a title fight. And like, what do they really say? He's not even the best British fighter in the division, and that's a low fucking bar usually. And that's a weird fucking thing to have multiple of those guys, because usually you don't have that, so he's cool. He's cool. He's gonna lose to Gene. And then what? He's gonna go beat someone and get hype again? I thought he was going to fucking lightweight. That was a lie. He's Arnie. He's there. But yeah, I remember him every time I fucking see him. It's usually on Twitter at this point. Because he doesn't fight too often, and fights are usually never that exciting anyway. He's kind of just there. So I just really don't think much of Arnie. Not anything bad. I don't think it's bad by any means, but again, 1, 2, 3 fucking guys who are better than him under him in the rankings, and there's probably a few. There are more who are unranked. He's like, he would be better here than he would be here, is all I'm saying. Arnie's cool, not about all I can really say, so there you go. Next, we have a guy I have no respect for, and I cannot wait to watch lose in 2026 to hopefully Sterling or Garcia, someone like that. The Tomato Can, who is not good, never was and never will be, just like his first UFC run, he still sucks. You suck as a lol. He's a Tomato Can. But he's won 5 in a row. Against who? He beat Billy Q, who's washed, and would beat him, and Billy would have won that 3 years earlier. Jarno Aaron's garbage. Jack Shore retired. Calvin Kattar, he ran away from and looked terrible against. And Josh Emmett's 40. This dude's garbage. I cannot wait for him to get beat by Sterling, or fucking Allen, or Yair, or fucking Garcia. Like, I cannot fucking wait. Vallejos would turn him to a fucking pretzel. It's like, he's shit. I cannot wait to see him get beat. And that's really all I can say. Dude's a fucking joke. Next, we have maybe the Dark Horses division going into 2026, or in 2026. The guy who has really made a name for himself in these last couple years, just fucking getting knockouts and finishes and looking good. I think 6-fight winning streak. We have maybe the Dark Horses of the division, Steve Garcia. Garcia's pretty good, man. Garcia's really good. Again, I think he's on, what, a 6-fight winning streak? And 5 of them have been finishes? Like, I guess UFC site said fuck you to loading. But yeah, I think he's won 6 in a row and 5 by finish. Coming off them Onama main event one, which was not really meaningful, but, you know, good win. Now in the top 10, probably in line for a big fight. Again, I would love to see him fight Yair in a main event. I think that'd be an awesome fight. This guy's good. I won't be shocked if he ends the year around top 5 to 6. He's pretty fucking decent. He would easily beat a few of the guys we've already talked about. And again, I really could see him being a dark horse of the division. Do I think he beats Lerone, Diego, or Volk? Probably not, but yeah, I could easily, like, again, he's easily probably a top 5 level guy. He's good. He's gotten better. Striking and power is good. He's good. What else can I say? He's a rare example of you actually watch someone get much better over time after being kind of a jobber for his first bit in UFC. Now dude's on a 6-fight winning streak in the top 10, so what more can you really say besides that? Yeah, I think he's the dark horse in the division and could go probably in top 5 by the end of the year. So if maybe he will get a title shot, who fucking knows? If he fights Yair and finishes him as easily as he probably would, I would not be shocked to him get a title shot. So what can you really say? In a division that has cans like this and this high up, I think Garcia would beat both of them, and I think he'd beat Arnie as well. I think Garcia might be a dark horse people are overlooking. Talking about Lerone and Gene and da-da-da. Castillo might shock some people. We'll see. Not gonna talk about Ortega, even though he is in the top 15. He is going up to lightweight. Finally, already got a fight booked against Moicano, so I'll talk about him with the lightweights. So, yeah, just right. Like, he's gonna be taking out the rankings probably any week now, I'd have to imagine, or hope. Or maybe they'll wait until the fight. Either way, Ortega is finally going up to lightweight. So, hallelujah for that. And excited to see him beat up Moicano again, just up 10 pounds now. Gonna be good to see a rejuvenated, not drained to shit Ortega. And yeah, so no point talking about him there. Crazy that within the last year and a half max, Ortega and Ilya have all moved up into like the top 3 at one point in the division. Crazy how that works out. Next, we have the guy who, in my opinion, well, not in my opinion, it's clear if he would have won that Diego fight, he would be fighting for a belt on the 31st, but he lost, it was a shitty stoppage. Whatever, he's gonna get back on track. At 324, we have the second best fighting nerd, Gene Silva, the bipolar nerd of the group, the weirdo, crazy motherfucker. Yeah, small setback versus Diego, but he'll get back on track against Arnie. To be honest, if he is fighting for a belt this year, I wouldn't be shocked. Knowing the UFC that he'll beat Arnie and then get like fucking Yair or Sterling, which is a free win, and then get a title shot off that. So, Gene will bounce back, just like Prates has. He's good. He's gonna beat Arnie. He's a psychopath, and who doesn't love a Gene Silva fight? Because, you know, some shit's gonna go down, so... Yeah, what can I really say? With Gene Silva, he's a bipolar fucking psychopath, and we love him, so... There you go, not too much else to really say there. Gene Silva, he's gonna bounce back in January. Simple. Next, we have a guy who probably won't be in the division by the end of the year because of probably retirement, I would imagine, or just losing out of the division. We have the number 11th ranked, maybe the hardest hitter in the division. Actually, for sure the hardest hitter in the division, but age is catching up to him pretty badly. We have Josh Emmett. Oh, yeah, Emmett's close to the end. I think one more loss, and he's probably retiring or getting cut, so I think won't be shocked if by this time next year he's either gone or retired. I don't see him getting another win, because more than likely we're going to feed him to like Kevin Vallejos or some shit, and he's going to get beat. He's just done. I think he's lost, 3 in a row now? Or 2 in a row. He's done. He's 40. He still has the bombs in his hands, but he's getting slower. He's getting older. He can't keep up to these younger guys like Lerone or like a Vallejos would easily beat him. It sucks because Emmett gave us so many good highlights, but again, time catched up to everybody, and it's really got up to Josh at this point, and I think it's about the end of the road for him. 40, 41 years old, and probably his last year on the roster, going at least his last year, beginning the year on the roster. Again, I think he either retires or gets cut sometime in the year, so unless he can pull back the clock against someone like, I don't know, David Onama or some shit, but why would they do that? Feed him to Vallejos and let him retire, or let him go to PFL, or boxing. God, they better pray he doesn't step in a boxing ring. Yeah. It sucks to say that about Emmett, but yeah, it's just kind of time has caught up to him, so what can you really say? That shit waits for no one, haven't waited for Emmett, and probably last year. Sucks to say. Speaking of old dudes, this one wasted, from what everyone says, he was so good in other places. Apparently he wasted his career, his best year somewhere else, and now he's a complete tomato can in the UFC, ranked for no reason. The number 12 ranked bum, Patricio Shitbull. Yeah, this dude's terrible. I'm not wasting time with him. He shouldn't even be ranked because he shouldn't have fought Dan Ige. That made no sense after that embarrassing Yair fight. And if they give him anyone legit, he is going to lose. So, not really much to say. He sucks. Vallejos would rip him in half. Fucking Emmett would beat him. He sucks. What am I meant to fucking say? He's better than guys like fucking Nix and Asakura. Is he better than Pico? Probably not. I would say Pico's probably better, but that's a low bar. And yeah, Pitbull sucks. That's simple. But look at him in Bellator. I don't care what he did in the minor leagues. In the UFC, he fucking sucks, and that's what he's gonna be remembered for. And his brother is a can too, so unless your name's Andre Arlovsky, there's only one real Pitbull, and it's not you. You suck. Should have stayed in Bellator, you bum fraud. But now, after talking about a few old dudes, it's time to talk about the future of the division. A dude who, I don't think in 2026, but in 2027, I would say more than likely wins the belt. We have the future of the featherweight. Again, probably some point in 2027 he wins the belt. The future of the division, at some point probably the best fighter in the division. The number 13 ranked in his rookie year, Kevin Vallejos. This dude's so fucking good. He's like a little bit worse Ilya, which that's scary in its own right. Like 23, 24 years old. He's so fucking good. 3-0, already ranked by the end of the rookie year. Again, I don't think in 2026, because the division has some cleaning out to do of some things, but I think in 2027 he's going to get ranked or going to get the belt more than likely. I don't know who I would pick to beat him. He would rip through these two. This would be interesting. That was a Contender Series fight. I think he'd win a rematch. That would be a banger. He would kill these guys. Might beat Lerone. He would kill Yair. He would kill Volk. He would kill Evloev. And Lopez would be one of the best fights you've ever seen. So I would say right now, more than likely Vallejos wins the belt in 2027. This kid is special. He's one of them ones. He's fucking fantastic. Like, what more can you really say? Yeah, I get his wins have been kind of shitty fighters, but just wait till he does what he's been doing against cans, against top guys. This guy's good. Again, he is a lot like Ilya. Not as good. Not far from, and I think as he gets older, he might be an Ilya 2.0. This kid's phenomenal, and more than likely will have the belt one day, so what else can you really say? The future of the division, already ranked after his rookie year. Featherweight, you're fucked. Volk, you better retire before you get the title shot, or he's gonna do you worse than fucking Ilya did. So, that kid is legit. And that's all I can say. If you don't know, you're gonna know. He's gonna probably hold a belt someday. Next, the second to last guy, we have everyone's favorite featherweight gatekeeper, the real BMF. Even though since that fight, I've not been doing great for him. I think he's 0-2 since that fight. We have everyone's favorite gatekeeper, Dan Ige. Yeah, Ige still kicking in the top 15. How old is he? I feel like he's like 34. Like, he's not a spring chicken by any means. As well, where the fuck is Dirty Dan? Where the fuck is he guy? Does not have a fucking high in the rank? There he is. Oh yeah, he did. Never mind. He did get a win. He's 34, gonna be 35. Yeah, he's starting to fade more and more. You can see it. Like, he still got it. He's still a very decent fighter. Again, he's still a really good fucking gatekeeper in the division. But losing a Pitbull, he looked decent. Losing that fight's kind of bad. That Woodson win, it was a terrible stoppage. Good win, but again, debatable last stoppage. Lerone beat him pretty easily. That Diego fight was cool, but like, Ige's starting to fade more. Like, I think he'll probably still be ranked from, well, and maybe. If they feed him to Melchizedek, which they should, yeah, he might not be ranked for too long. But I think Ige's gonna stick around for a while, even if he does fall out to rankings this year. Because he still beats a lot of the guys who are not ranked. And that's what he's made most of his fucking career on, so what does that tell you? Yeah, he's still decent, but he's getting older, and you can tell, yeah, what can you really say? He's a great gatekeeper, but age is getting to him, and he's just fading a bit. So still could beat some guys, even some guys who we've already talked about. But yeah, I think sooner than later he'll probably be out top 15. But he'll stick around for a few more years till probably like 2028, 2029, and then probably be gone. So still got a few good years, or a few decent years of EK left, I would probably say, and it's always a good thing because who doesn't love our favorite gatekeeper, Dan Ige? And then lastly, at number 15, for some fucking reason, this is not Melquizael Costa. This is instead the man who just got beat and never deserved to be ranked to begin with. The very, I would say even below average, number 15 ranked David Onama. Why is he ranked? Like, he's not that good. I really don't see him. Like, I don't even know what he did to get ranked. Beat Giga in a shitty fight. Looked terrible against Roberto Romero. Like, I don't think much about Nama at all. He's easily the worst fighter in top 15. He's below average at best. I think there's so many unranked guys that would wipe the floor of him. But I think they're gonna do this. They're gonna feed him to Pico. I think Pico should probably win that fight. I think that's too logical for them not to do. Feed him to Pico, get Pico in top 15. Same thing they did for Ige and Pitbull. You know, Pitbull would, where Ige would beat Pico. But Onama's just Pico might not survive against Ige, but he'd probably beat Onama, and I think that just makes the most sense. So more than likely that's what they're gonna do, and if they do, I won't be shocked. It'll be a fine pay-per-view prelim, and yeah, no, Onama has no business to be ranked. He's not that good at all. Again, very below average, and yeah, probably just gonna be used to get whoever they want in the top 15, and I say more than likely it's gonna be Aaron Pico, but we will see. And there you go. That's the top 15. It's okay. I would say it's the worst top 15 out of the three so far. You got the cans like Zalal and Sterling and Pitbull and Onama ranked. So when they should be getting Melquizael and etc. etc. But you do get Vallejos, which is good. Gene, Steve, like Yair and Allen are kind of just there. Diego Lerone should be higher. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I think the division's gonna get better. I think by the end of the year, this is gonna look a lot better. He's gonna drop after a loss. He's gonna drop after a loss. He's gonna drop after a loss. He probably won't even fight. He's moving up. He's probably gonna retire. He's gonna get beat. He's probably gonna be out top 15. He's definitely gonna be out top 15. He's gonna be in the top 5 maybe. He might not even be champion anymore. I think Featherweight's gonna get better. I think it's the weakest top 15 out of the three so far. And yeah, I think it's gonna get better throughout the year. And I think by starting next year it's gonna be a little bit better, and then I think by like middle or even end of 27 it's gonna be a really good top 15, and I am hoping that at least. So I can't be certain, but I have hope that at some point it's gonna be guys better than fucking Sterling and Zalal and Allen and fucking Pitbull. I guess that's wishful thinking at the end of the day. We never get nice things, do we? So there you go. But yeah, that's top 15. But as always, like I keep saying, but wait, there's more. We don't just do top 15. We do everybody. So there's the top 15. Now let's move to the rest. All of the unranked guys who could be in the rankings, guys who could be cut by the end of the year, guys who are just mid or shit. Let's take a look, shall we? Almost 40 minutes in. Let's do it. Beginning with a dud right off the bat. Ain't that some fucking unlucky shit? As we begin with a guy who is, most people probably don't even know is on the roster or had a fight because it was a random Apex prelim. We have our first non-ranked featherweight. Great start. John Giannis. 0-1, got crushed by Austin Bashy on short notice in his debut. This dude will probably be off the roster by the end of the year because he'll fight one more time, get beat, and get cut. He didn't look good at all in his debut against a guy who's shit like Bashy. Lost to Smotherman. Yeah, this dude sucks. I saw nothing good from him in the debut. 9-4, 31 years old. Yeah, most people only know he had a fight in this year. He sucks. Probably gonna be cut next. Not gonna talk about bantamweights or guys we already talked about, so we can look past all of these guys. Cause I talk about all of them with the bantamweights because they are bantamweights. So I wonder if like Nathan Fletcher would fight at featherweight. So we can move to our next one. Oh god, another tomato can. Another guy I fucking hate. At least coming off a loss, which was really good to see. We have the fraud checker, the man who beats all the prospects, durr. We have Christian Rodriguez, one of the most overrated, overhyped guys on the fucking roster, even though he's fucking garbage. Like, 5-4 record. He's beat so many prospects. If you really look at his record, he lost Johnson Pierce, who isn't garbage. Beat some dude named Weems, beat Rosas, which means nothing, beat Simon, who's ass, and that was debatable, lost to the Bulgarian for sure, that was a robbery, lost to Erosa, okay, Bashy is ass, lost to Melky and Feely. The dude's not good. The second he fights someone good, he loses, and his real record is 4-5. He lost to the Bulgarian, for sure. And if you take away that Bulgarian win, because it's not even a real win, what's his best win? Raul Rosas and Austin Bashy, who are garbage? Get fucking real. The dude with a fat fuck at bantamweight who couldn't make weight. Now he's a shitty featherweight who's 1-4. This dude's not good. I don't care what y'all are trying to sell. He beat prospects. The only prospect he's beat is Rosas, Simon, and Bashy. 3 cans. He lost to Bulgarian. He lost to Costa. He can't beat older dudes. Like, the only 2 decent prospects he fought, he lost to. The dude's not good. I'm tired of this fucking stigma. Rodriguez is so good, he's a prospect beater. Yeah, he can beat the worst ones. Good job. And you lost to the Bulgarian who didn't even throw the fight. He actually won. So... But I fucking can't stand the idea of this dude. Some great prospect beater. Dude sucks. You wanna know the real prospect beater in this division? Danny Gay. He's beat more prospects than fucking Ruthira. Sean Woodson won. Let's see. Feely wasn't a fucking prospect. Why are they gonna do it this way? Because their UFC.com sucks ass. Let me bring up Ige for shots. Sean Woodson, even if it was a bad stoppage, Woodson would rip C-Rod in half. Ige would rip C-Rod in half. Nate Landwehr when he had hype. Damon Jackson when he had hype. Gavin Tucker when he had hype. That's 4. I get those were not young guys. They were fucking all guys who would beat C-Rod. So, like, it's fucking pathetic that this guy gets hyped for one fucking win in his last 4 fights, and it was a can like Bashy. And outside of that, he beat Raul Rosas, a dude who's fucking awful. I'm tired of this Rodriguez hype. He's not good. He's going to lose again, hopefully get cut. But knowing the UFC there and give him one of the worst prospects they can find, and then he'll win, everyone will hype him up again, and then he'll lose to a veteran who's much better than him, like always, because he's not fucking good. The prospect killer, who's only killed Rosas, Bashy, and Simon, 3 dudes who would have got killed by many other guys. The dude fucking sucks. I'm tired of that fucking idea with him. He's not good. Prospect killer, fuck off. Next, another guy who's killed more prospects than actually decent ones than Rodriguez, a dude we waited to talk about from the bantamweight video, because now he's a featherweight, at least he should stay one. We have the guy who just came off beating a prospect who would have ripped through C-Rod. We have the first Shootabox member, maybe the only one we talk about for the featherweights, Daniel Santos. We wait to talk about him because he's not from the bantamweights, because he's now featherweight, and he's fucking damn good at featherweight. 2-0 this year. Bantamweight, he just couldn't make the weight and fight consistently. You know, he still got 2 wins there, but it made him inactive. Now on 2-fight winning streak against Jiang Yang Lee, Ju Sang Yu, 2 prospects. You know, Lee was kind of fraud checked at that point, but you know, Ju Sang Yu, he fraud checked, who would have ripped through C-Rod. Only loss was his debut to Julio Arce many years ago. Daniel Santos is pretty decent. I've thought for a minute that this dude could actually be pretty decent if he fought more consistently and even up in a weight class he can actually make. And look what happens this year. He fights twice up in a weight class he can actually make, and 2 fights where he was the underdog and he's 2-0 and looking good. So, do I think he's gonna be top 15, top 20 in the division? No, but I think he'd be like a top 3 dude in the division. He's decent. He's a very decent fighter. He's from shoot to box, so he knows how to grapple, but also he's a very good striker. 4 wins in a row. Deserves a big step up in competition. Guy's good. Guy's pretty decent. If he can stay active, another 2 or 3 fights in 2026 would be neat. Yeah, what else can you really say? He's looking good. 4 in a row, coming off some fraud checkings. Stay at featherweight. Keep fighting consistently. Keep doing your thing, keep winning. Daniel Santos could be a top 30, 25 guy in the division. Not very much else I can say. It looks like Happy seems finally hitting his ceiling after just being inactive and getting fights canned at a high rate. Happy is finally fighting again. And hopefully we get him again ASAP. Next, talking about Fraud Maker last time, and then speaking of shitty fighters, let's talk about this can real quick as we end this first slide page, whatever, with one of the worst fighters you're gonna find on this roster. Where is he? Lucas Almeida, a complete tomato can. Not much to say here. I will be shocked if he's still on the roster by this time next year. If he even gets another fight in the UFC, it would be a fucking miracle in its own right. This dude's fucking terrible. He fought with a broken hand against Michael Aswell. Not in the fight before he broke his hand. Good job. Yeah, he sucks. He could have had fucking 4 hands and he still would have got beat. If this dude gets another fight in the UFC, he's gonna get his ass beat, and I would be fucking shocked if he got another fight. If he got cut out, if he was one of the guys who just got randomly cut out of nowhere after not fighting for a minute this year, would not be shocked. He's terrible, one of the worst on the featherweight roster. Not much to say. Going from Daniel Santos to him, a great Brazilian fighter, to a shit one. Yeah, Almeida is fucking garbage. What more can I really fucking say there? I got how bad is Timmy Kwamba. It proves my point from yesterday's video even more. So. Fucking just a shit fighter, man. Pretty simple. Next, let's flip the page, and we will begin with we begin with a fraud on this page. That's not what I was expecting to say about this guy at the beginning of the year, but with how his years went, it's kind of hard not to call him a fraud. We have a guy who started the year 11-0, now he's 11-2. Well, actually, I think he started like 10-0. To now 11-2. We have Hurricane Hyder, a male member of the Scrap Pack with Melendez and the Diaz's, and he's been scrapped up in his last 2 fights very badly against start of the year, undefeated, got a win and then lost his oath, and then lost again after that. Delgado beat him and took his own. Debatable stoppage or not, he still lost and was gonna lose, and then lost to Jamal Emmers, and just a pitiful performance by both guys. Emmers just laid on him, and Emil just had nothing for him. Yeah, Emil has been completely fraud checked up to this point, which sucks. He was a very fun fighter, but he just can't fucking hang with guys who don't just swing and bang with him. Dude got good power about it, no grappling, chin is shaky. Again, been fraud checked. If he loses again, he's probably cut since he's 35 years old. Was looking like a decent prospect. I don't remember thinking he was going to be anything special. Like, probably top 25, or never like top 15. He's fun, he's decent, but maybe you really fight him smart, you're going to beat him. And then another loss would probably end in him getting cut, so we'll see if that happens. And, yeah, not really too much to say there. Another guy who started a year undefeated just to end it with 2 L's. We've seen that many times just in these first 3 weight classes. Unlucky, but happens when you get your chin checked, and then you just get grapple fucked. Not very much to say. First fraud of the fucking weight class. I doubt that he'll be the only one. Scrap Pack, yeah, definitely not its best member, that's for sure. Next, speaking of cancelled fights, we got the king of cancelled fights in this division. The guy who I think has a lot of talent, but he doesn't fight enough to actually show it. The king of cancelled fights at featherweight, Melsic Bagdasaryan. Oh man, how can you defend the idea of him being the king of canned fights when he had a canned fight canned fucking 3 weeks ago? Yeah, this dude's had, let's see, since getting signed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights canned, if I count that correctly. 3, 6, 7, yep. Man, he's only had 5 UFC fights. Good job. Melsik's a dude who I think, and I know I've said this for a lot of guys, but I think it still holds true. He's a guy who I think has a lot of fucking potential, or had a lot of potential. He looked good. Again, like, nothing. This was a pretty shit performance. But, like, I thought he was gonna be something, but then cancellations, loses a Kulabao, looks shit against Lutz. They were finally done with him, feeding him to Gene. The dude's done. If UFC cut him at this point, could you blame him? The dude just gets every fight he has cancelled. Was meant to fight Burrito a few weeks ago. Didn't happen. It's like, what are you meant to do at this point? You were gonna waste time continuing to book him in fights just for him to fucking pull out of them? And if he actually makes to him, what, either he's gonna look shitty versus a can or get beat by a can like Josh Kulabao? It's like, I've liked Melissa. I think the dude has a potential, but when you don't fight, when you do fight, you don't look good. His debut was good, and Gene Silva fight will give him a break. The middle parts, he's looked terrible, and he's getting older now. He's gonna be 34 this year. Who he's probably gonna have another fight canned before he actually shows up to a fight. And how can you make people sign a contract to fight him at this point? It just feels like a waste of time for that person, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully Melsic, I would love to see an active Melsic, even if he is like going like 2-1 in that. Just, dude has a little bit of potential, but he just doesn't fight enough. And again, at this point, would you blame the UFC for cutting him? On one more canned fight, and I think he would have to be fucking gone, so I want to see this dude fight. I think he has potential. I think he had a decent ceiling, but not fighting and then looking bad when you do fight most of the time. What can you do, man? What can you fucking do? I get whatever the UFC decides with him, I understand. What can you fucking say about a guy who has had more canned fights than actual fights when he got signed in fucking 2020 or 2021? It's like crazy, man. Just you gotta fight. What can you say? Next, we'll save Edson for lightweight, since that seems like he's gonna end his career there, so we'll save him for lightweight. And actually, funny enough, let's talk about the guy who Melsic pulled out against. So, in that fight, it was the man who looked pretty terrible against his new opponent, but did get to win, Joe Anderson, Burrito. Another guy in this division who looked to have had a high ceiling just to get sent back down to earth very viciously. Was on a nice 5-fight winning streak, beat guys like Andre Fili and Jack Shore, then got beat by bum fighters, and then looked piss poor against Isaac Thompson. Yeah, Burrito's not good anymore. I don't know what happened. He's not even that old. He's only 30, so I can't say he's washed. I don't know what happened to this guy. He's just not the same. Looking bad against bad fighters. He looked like he was going to be a top 15 guy for a minute, but just that's kind of flew out the window now. I struggle to see him beating really anyone that good, especially after that Thompson win. And what can you really say? Just a guy who's kind of been disappointment. Like I said this when I talked about his fight with Melsic a few weeks ago. I looked at that fight as a fight between two guys who a few years ago, that would have been a great fight between prospects. Now it's kind of a waste of fucking time. Not even waste time, but it's a weird fight to look at now. Because at one point, you made a case for that being a cool top 15 fight. Now, the guys are not even like top 15 guys we've talked about in the last fucking 15 fighters. So, I don't know. Burrito's just kind of disappointing. I don't think he's going to get back the form we saw on that long winning streak. And I think we're going to see, we'll continue to see what we've been doing. Him lose to better guys and beat shittier guys. And probably not even look good beating those shitty guys. So, he's just really fallen off from a guy who looks like we're going to be in top 15 now. Struggling versus shitty fighters and losing to some of them. What more can you really say? Just like Mosick, another fucking disappointment. If I was talking about him and Mosick 3 years ago, I'd been talking highly of them. Now it's like, what happened? Just the prospect has faded. That's crazy how quick shit happens like that, but it is what it is. Shit happens. Next, we've got not a great fighter here. A guy who's never really a prospect more than one good performance. Actually, two good performances. We have a guy who's really only here because he's teammates with Marab and Aljo and all that. I think he's still on the roster, Dennis Bazookia. Bazookia's had such a weird fucking career. He was on Contender Series a few years ago. He looked really good. And wow, he lost to Melsick, funny. But he came back, looked really damn good. Probably should have got a contract on that night. Didn't though. Went on a winning streak. Stepped on a short nose against Woodson. Looked terrible, but short nose against a guy like Woodson. Okay. But then loses to Emmers, beats Matthews. Okay, and then Marshall beat him in a pretty terrible fight. I don't even remember that fight, to be honest. Haven't fought in a year now. Whatever we saw in Contender Series is just not the guy we see anymore. He's not fucking good. He's not good at. He's missed weight, twice, I think? Once or twice. And yeah, he's just not fucking good. If he's cut, won't be fucking shocked. I've not seen him get cut yet, but if he does get cut, I would not be shocked. If he comes back in 2026, he's probably gonna lose and get cut. Yeah, I think he's suspended for punching a fan, right? Because one of the dudes who did that, I think it was Marab, was it the Umar or O'Malley fight? One of the other guys, where he got in like a fight with a fan, so he's probably suspended. Actually, I forgot about that. But yeah, if he comes back 26, he's probably gonna lose, or if he's already cut or gonna be cut, I wouldn't be shocked. Wouldn't be a bad loss. He's just not been good. You only could be Connor Matthews, who was a god-awful fighter, so good job. So, just not really too much to say there. A guy who actually had a lot of hype coming in, been super shitty since. I haven't seen him in a year. Unlike Bantamweight, by this point, we saw like 8 guys who didn't fight in 2025. Bazookia, the first one. See if he comes back in 2026 to lose, or if he's just gonna get cut. Time will tell. Next, okay, the first good fighter we've seen in a while. Even though I know he's coming off getting knocked the fuck out, I still call this guy a decent fighter. As next we have the best Frenchman in the division. Only 2 of them, but he's the best of the 2. Even though he just got knocked out, I still think this dude's pretty decent. We have Morgan Chevalier, the best pirate in the UFC, because Short Bullet's garbage. Yeah, Morgan, I know it's coming off the Melky loss, but that's not a very understandable loss, and like I said after that fight, don't care to repeat myself too much, but I'll say it here. I think we've seen Morgan's ceiling. He's a dude you put on the Paris card to get a cheap pop against a can, and then whenever you're not going to Paris for a while, you have him fight up, he's probably gonna lose, and you continue to do that cycle. Fine career to have. Morgan is a talented fighter. I think he's top 30 to 25-ish in the division. He's good, but he could never beat the higher guys, even like a Deshaun Woodson, Jose Delgado, etc. Like Wood and Melky beat him. But Morgan would beat a lot of guys that we've talked about just on this page. He would beat Brito, he'd beat Mosick, he'd probably beat Emil at this point. The dude is decent, but They're just more skilled fighters than him. It's that simple. He's not a bad fighter. There's just guys who are better than him, and that's why he's kind of just been a can crusher when he fucking fights. He's made to look good against cans, and then against guys who are just better, he's just having to make a good job done. But again, when your 3 losses are Shepe in a debatable fight, Nathaniel Wood and fucking Melky Costa, what can you really be upset about there? So, dude's decent. Dude's very decent. And yeah, again, I think he's there to get cheap, free wins on Paris cards and then probably lose some better guys. So, it's a pretty fine career to have. Dude, pretty decent. Just there's guys better than him. What else can I really say? So, truly that simple in my opinion. Not really much else to say. Just guys who are much better than him. That's just the way of the fucking beast, man. That's just how the sport is. Simple. Next, ooh, this is an interesting one. Another guy we just talked about. Another guy who just got KO'd on that same card as Chevier. We have the formerly top 15, now on a 3-fight skid, and probably not going to get cut, but you can make a case for it. The formerly ranked forever, now not anymore, Giga Chikadze. Ooh, we talked about him plenty not that long ago, so don't really need to waste too much time here. Giga's was good, nice little run, but he got exposed over the last couple fights. Hasn't really been able to transfer winning to higher echelon opponents. Just got knocked out for the first time by Vallejos. Do I think he gets cut? Maybe, but I think they'll give him one more fight more than likely, and we'll see how that goes. The loss there, yeah, he's gone for sure, but I see them probably giving him one more fight. But if they cut him, I would understand. He's, 37, coming off his first KO loss. Not looked that good lately. I said this after the card a few weeks ago, and I stand by it, and it's really the last thing I'll say. If they keep him, give him one more fight, I'm fine with it. Or if they cut him, I'm fine with it. I don't know which they're gonna do, and I don't have an issue with either, so kind of just a time will tell kind of thing. So if he fights again, he'll just lose, or if you cut him now, cool, I'm gonna do kickboxing or whatever. I'm gonna do karate combat. He'd be fucking phenomenal in karate combat, so I'm gonna do it. I don't know, not really much else to say. Pretty simple shit there about a guy I just talked about. A lot of these featherweights just fought Kevin, Giga, Morgan, etc. So just not really much to say about him. Oh boy, speaking of people who don't fight often, this might be the king of that fucking crown. We have a man who we would love to see fight more, or maybe a guy who we can easily put into the bracket of wasted talent. Our favorite Korean with the zombie retired, the Superboy, Do Ho Choi. Yes, he is still on the roster. I know I'm shocked by that as well, but he is. You know, we have not fought in a year again. Had a fight booked, had a fight cancelled this year and last year. Would it be better for you if you just cut their losses with Choi at this point, let them go to 1 or some shit? I hate to say that about Choi, but is he ever gonna be able to fight consistently again? The dude was such a top prospect, but then he had to go do Navy work or some bullshit. Whatever, the same thing Korean Zombie had to do all those years ago, which fucked him up. But it would have come back and looked pretty good after knocking off the Russ Jansen Nelson. Got 2 good wins. But he's still so inactive at this point. He's 34. He's not going to be a top guy in this division anymore. He would have been, and he was at one point. But at this point, he's going to be 35. It's 2026. I would love to see him fight again. If he could fight consistently again, I would, even if he was going 3-2 in his last 5, I'd be fine with it. But the dude never fights. He's getting older. Would it be better just let him go to Ryzen or 1? No, most people don't even fucking know he's still on the roster, and I don't blame them. The dude doesn't fight. And when he did, he looked good. He looked really good against Algio. He looked okay against Landwehr. would it be better just cut your losses at this point? So, I don't know. I would love to see Choi fight, but it's so rare. It seems like such a pain to actually get to happen. I don't know. I wouldn't blame the UFC for cutting their losses with Choi at this point. So we'll see. I would love to see him active again, fighting even at a semi, or even like every 6 to 10 months. If it was at least one fight, let's say if he fought in February and December, cool. But dude, the dude doesn't fight, so it's like, what are we meant to really say? He's just wasting a roster spot at this point. So hopefully he fights again. Hopefully he can stay on the roster. But again, would you blame the UFC for cutting their losses for a guy who doesn't fight? I don't know. So hopefully he fights again. He is still on the roster, but for how much longer can they just let this dude continuously pull out of fights and yet not fight? Dude was great at one point, but not 2019 anymore. It's 2026. And most people, Choi is still here, which is a shame, because he is still decent, but he gotta fight. If he doesn't, could you blame the UFC for cutting him? I wouldn't. Next, someone I'm very excited to talk about. The guy who should have been in the top 15 portion of all of this, but wasn't for some reason. The very good, the best unranked fighter in the division right now, coming off one of the best knockouts of the year, the best knockout of the final card of the year, the man who put Cherrier to sleep, Melquizael Costa. How is this man not in the top 15? How is he not ranked, but Pitbull and Onama are? Make that make sense. 5 in a row, looked great in all of them. This kid is so fucking good. I'm not gonna go on too long because I just talked about him with the last card of the year a couple weeks ago. But it's dude, this guy's good. Do I think he'll be a champion? No. But he could either be top 15 to 10. He's really fucking good. He better get a ranked fight in his next fight if it's Onama or Ige. Give him a top 15 fight. The dude should just be in the top 15, but whatever. He's so fucking good. He's another shoot to box member, even better than Daniel Santos. He's really good. Hopefully by the end of the year he's in top 15. Will he be the Steve Garcia of this year? A guy who fucking climbs the rankings a bit out of nowhere? Wouldn't be out of nowhere at all. He's on almost the same winning streak as fucking Garcia. The dude's good. I don't know what else he has to do to get ranked. He better fight Ige or Onama next for a ranking, or even Pitbull if he wants a free win. And, yeah, what else can I say? The best unranked fighter at Featherweight right now, in my opinion. I've not seen anyone better yet. Give Melky a fucking ranking. He deserves it. He's so fucking good. And, what else can you really say? So, give him a ranking. He has more than fucking deserves it. Next, talk about combat bantamweight, because I believe he's more of a bantamweight. Ooh, this is an interesting one. The Gene Matsumoto of this division, if you know what I mean by that. And then you know how I talked about Matsumoto in yesterday's video. The man who got robbed of his O by bullshit robbery. Where the fuck is he? The still undefeated, I don't care what the stupid judges robbed him of. Actually, oh my bad, he wasn't undefeated, but he should be 11-1. Jose Delgado. Yeah, this guy is easily 3-0 in the UFC, because there's no world he lost this Nathaniel Wood fight. Yeah, this guy's good. Yeah, this guy's really fucking good. He's gonna bounce back. Again, he's the Gene Matsumoto of Featherweight right now, coming off getting robbed of his undefeated, at least not even his O, but undefeated in the UFC. He's really good, like Matsumoto. Again, he beat Wood, which is very fucking impressive that he beat Wood, but judges are dumb, but we don't count that. He's undefeated in the UFC, 3-0, and yeah, I would not be shocked if he's in the top 15 sooner than later. Dude is already top 20 in the weight class, I would say, and He's really fucking good. What else can I say from MMA Lab? We talked about plenty of those guys yesterday, and I'm getting our first, and I believe only one here. Yeah, dude's really decent. Coming off a win against Wood is really impressive. And, yeah, what else can I say? And, I don't count robberies. He's undefeated in UFC, and he'll bounce back and won't be shocked if he's in the top 15 sooner than later. No, that's there to really say. Next, oh boy, how is this man still fighting, man? How is this man still fighting? And next thing, I believe the oldest dude in the weight class, and maybe the dude who needs to retire the most. We have the legend, the psychopath, the damage, Darren Elkins. How is this dude still fucking fighting? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he's at the top of my list of guys I want to see retire in 2026. I love Elkins, we all do, but it's like, dude, it's scary to watch him fight and take damage at this point. He's already probably CT'd to hell and now just continuously taking damage, even though he's still good. He's still winning fights at a consistent rate. He's just fucking so old, and at this point he's so damage-ridden, pun intended. I hope he retires. I hope he gets one more fight, have one more bloody banger, and then retire. I don't need to see Darren Elkins fight again. It's really something I could go without seeing, to be honest. Because he's just so... it's scary to watch him take punches at this point. And, yeah, hopefully 2026 is the last year of the damage, as much as it's great to see him fight still and do a decent. I don't want to see the dude take any more damage, but hopefully one more fight for the damage. Hopefully a win, no less, because he can still beat a lot of shittier guys. And yeah, it's just, he's 41. It's more than time to see him retire. Yeah, please, no more Darren. One more fight, and then please, no more damage. In a nice way I can put it. We love you, but stop fucking fighting. Next, we end this row with another guy who just got a win not too long ago in extremely boring fashion, but a guy who's actually pretty old in his own right, you wouldn't think it. Speaking of the guy who beat Hyder Emil boringly, we have Jamal Emmers. Emmers is pretty decent, as boring as that Emil fight was. He's decent, always has been pretty decent. Most people think he won that Jack Jenkins fight. Fucking, like, Sabatini and Landwehr beat him. Giga was a fine debut loss. So, like, he hasn't really beat anyone good. Like, Emil is his best win by a mile. And Jenkins, but I think Emil is better than... Oh, if you think Emmers won that fight, I still think Emil is better than Jenkins. And, yeah, he's decent. He's like a very average fighter. He can test these younger, inexperienced guys who are just bad fighters, but he's never really been able to get past the higher level guys. He's decent. But, like, I don't know, he's like the most average guy in the division, kind of like whoever I said that was, like, he's like Victor Henry. Actually, that's a perfect comparison, even though I think he's much better than Victor Henry. That is kind of how I would compare him. He's a guy who's very decent, can beat shittier guys or younger, inexperienced guys, but he's never been able to get past a higher echelon, and I doubt he will, because he's already 36, his chin's never been the strongest, and again, he's just never really been able to hang with the better guys, and I don't think he ever really will, so he's decent, very good average fighter, but yeah, it's just top guys, no go. Shittier shit fighters or inexperienced young guys, he can do that. Not really much to say, just the king of average at featherweight. There, which that sounds really bad out of context, I would imagine, but you know what I mean. Emmers is perfectly decent. Row 2 done. Let's go again, and we get another old dude who has a fucking love for taking damage, but he's not nearly as old as Elkins. He just beat Elkins, and actually this guy is still really damn good. And we have another old dude who we love to see fight, and I don't need to see him retire anytime soon, because he's still fairly good. We have Juicy J, Julian Erosa. Who does not love a Juicy J fight? If this dude's fighting, you know it's gonna be a banger. Like, he's rebuilt his career a really good amount in the last couple years. Like, to winning more than he's lost, to beat guys like Jourdain, Dawoodu, Rodriguez, and Elkins. His losses, Melky beat him, but that was a great fight. Caceres, that's understandable. Choi, that's not as understandable. But the one downside to Rosa has always been his chin is fucking glass. So that's always been his fucking kryptonite in the UFC, and we've seen it here. He beat Woodson, Landwehr. Like, this dude is really good still. Like, his only losses are Melky, are either Melky and Caceres because they're really good, or guys who just have good power and can clip him. Like, to have Woodson, Landwehr, Jourdain, Dawoodu, Rodriguez, and Elkins as your, wins in the last couple years is really fucking good. Man, I easily think he rose to the top 25 and probably closer to 22 or 21 in that ranking guy in this division. He's really fucking good, and I think he'd beat a lot of these younger guys we've already fucking talked about. He would beat, he might beat Sherrier, he might beat fucking, Burrito and Emil and guys like that. He's really fucking good still. Again, his chin's glassy as fuck. Besides that, dude's just really talented, and it's almost a shame he's never been in top 15, because, look, again, read that list of wins. He's beat, 2 or 3 dudes who have been in top 15 before? Or guys like fucking, Jourdain, who probably will be eventually, so dude's really fucking good, and can't wait to see him fighting in 2026. You know it's gonna be a fucking banger. So hopefully he'll have the Apex, because it seems like that's the only place he fights anymore for most of his fights. So yeah, what can I really say? Just it's Juicy J. He's always gonna bring a banger, and he's just really fucking good alongside that. So what more can I really say? Who does not love Juicy J? Next, another old dude who we all love and is just really fucking good. Where is he? There he is. Another old dude in the division we love because he always has bangers. That's one thing Featherweight weirdly has a good amount of. Old dudes who are really, entertaining. Billy Q, Andre Fili, Darren Elkins, Julian Erosa. They just got these old dudes who have bangers, and it's so weird. And next we have maybe everyone's favorite, and maybe the youngest of all of them, not saying a lot, Andre Fili, Touchy Fili, don't do that. Yeah, who does not love Andre Fili? Dude always in a great fight, coming off that C-Rod win. His wins have not been as great as Erosa. His losses are understandable. Brito, Wood, Ige, Costa, beat Cub in a banger, even though most people think he lost that fight. C-Rod, Almeida. So, dude's been really solid for a while. Another guy, I think he was ranked at one time. So he's good that he was ranked. He is at his best, he is a top 15 guy, but never higher than something like 14 or 13. Getting older now, but still a very good offlane. And if people think C-Rod is so good, how good is Fili for just easily beating him last time out? And, yeah, if Fili's fighting, he's always gonna be a live dog to win, and B, have a fun fight. He's still, again, just like Erosa, top 25 guy in the division, very good. They would beat a lot of the guys we've talked about so far, and, yeah, another guy is impossible not to like. He's a good dude, fun fighter. These old dudes know how to swing and bang and have bangers. He's actually pretty decent alongside of just being entertaining. And what else can I say? It's Andre Fili. Who doesn't like Andre Fili? Enough said. And then going from a bunch of guys we like to a guy I can't fucking stand. One of my most hated fighters on the roster, let alone in this division. Not gonna waste much time here because this dude fucking sucks. We have the complete opposite of guys like Feely and Erosa, who are fun, good, likable fighters. We have the maybe the most unlikable French fighter, William Gomez. This dude's fucking garbage. I don't care what anyone says. Like, let's be honest, if we're going off what the record really is, he is really, let's see, okay, this was probably a loss. This should have been a no contest or DQ. I'll give him that, and then that was debatable. If judges weren't so fucking biased for him, he could easily be, what, 2, 3, and 1? Like, this dude's not good at all. Like, he's fucking terrible. His only real wins are fucking Burrito and Aaron's. Okay and garbage. And again, robbery-ish. Loeb, he kicked him in the dick. Like, the loss to Emil, which that's not aging good. Kid Gomez is garbage. Sherrier would run fucking circles around him. Yeah, I can't stand Gomez. He's so shitty. He kind of reminded me of like French Leon Edwards. He's just so fucking unlikable. He's so bad. And, yeah, he will never sniff the top anything in this weight class. He's so shit. And, I can't stand this fucking clown, so... Sherrier, you're cool. Gomez, you're a fucking bitch, and you suck. Not very much else to say there. Next, can we get back to people who are good? No. Now we're really starting to hit a trend of just not good fighters. Even I don't hate this guy. I'm not a giant fan of him either. I don't think he's that good. And next we have the... Let's be honest, it was a jobber at best. Bogdan Grad. The guy we talked about 2 months ago for being a layup for a debut guy, and he actually took a round off him. Yeah, Grad's not very good at all, if we're being honest. Debatable win on Contender Series, beat a can, lost to Tom Nolan, enough said there. Lost to Naimov and Riley. Yeah, this dude's not good. What am I really meant to say? I think he'll probably be gone at sometime in 2026 unless they give him a layup. He'll probably be cut because he'll get fed to someone again and lose. He's not that good. And, yeah, I'm not really meant to say. He's just cannon fodder for better fighters, so not really, he's what he wants to be, Austrian Wonder Boy. You're not, you suck, for being honest. Yeah, not really, too much to say there. He's just cannon fodder for good fighters, we can just be honest. Pretty simple. Next, another guy who I'll be nicer to, because I don't think he's garbage, I don't think he's good either. A guy who's been definitely fraud checked and proven to not be as good as, like, I don't think many people were high in him, even after his first few fights, before he started losing. He wasn't even looking good in those wins. We have our first Aussie, I feel like that, which is weird, usually we talk more about Aussies, but this seems to be the first one, unless I'm forgetting someone. Jack Jenkins. I'm not high on Jenkins at all. I don't think anyone is anymore if they ever were. He is okay, I guess. I think he's really below average. I don't look at him much better than like a Dennis Bazookia, to be honest. Like, he didn't look good in his first 2 UFC fights. Lost to Shepe. Beat Herbert, which means nothing. Gabriel Santos, we'll talk about later, who I don't think's that special. And then Roman Tavares in a shitty fight. I don't think much of Jenkins at all. I think he's really below average. If he wasn't Australian, he would not be on the roster, because he's just not that fucking great. Better than guys like, again, Grad, Bazookia, Gomez, but that's saying nothing really. And, yeah, he's just very below average. I even think, who did I call average? I think, well, Jamal Emmers, who a lot of people debate beat him. I just don't think Jenkins is that great by any means. If he fights anyone really decent, even guys like fucking Elkins would probably beat him. Fucking, yeah, he's just, I don't know. I don't think much of Jenkins. He's very mid, and yeah, about really all I gotta say about him. Like, when your best win and your first 4 UFC wins is what? Jamal Emmers in a fight most people don't think he won, and you lost to Gabriel Santos. Yeah, that's not a great look, so I don't know. What else can you really say there? Just a very, if he wasn't Australian, he probably wouldn't be here, and he's just pretty mid alongside that, so there you go. Next, they must really have him lowly ranked. Dude, where's oh, they're at 60th. Jesus fucking Christ. A year ago, he was ranked starting the year. Now he couldn't get farther from the rankings. Calvin Kattar. What a goddamn fall from grace. But that's injuries and age for you. 1 and 6 in his last 7. Wow. Yeah, his age has got to him pretty badly. Well, most people think he won this fight, but injury, looked terrible. He just ran away, looked terrible. Yeah, it's time for Kattar to go. I don't know why they haven't cut him yet. Like, he did some good, but he's not, like, you can't call him a legend. If you cut him, like, what, do you think, go to PFL? Cool. I don't want to see him fight again. He doesn't deserve another fight. The dude's lost 4 in a row, even if you think he won that Emmett fight. It's still 4 in a row. He's 37, gonna be 38 in a couple months. Just cut him. He's so broken down. He's injured. The injuries fucked him up. He's again old and broken down. Just let him walk. There's no reason for him to still be on the roster. He had a few good moments. The Giga fight was great, but ever since that, it's just been down and down and down and down. Yeah, it's just time to move on from Kattar, which sucks. He's kind of, what do you call him, the Cody Garbrandt of this division, to an extent. You know, like, Garbrandt's actually good and was good, much better than Kattar, but you know what I mean. The guy who's like, I don't need to see you here anymore. Just let Kattar retire. If he's not going to, just cut him. I don't want to see a Kattar fight news, man. I'm more than okay with him retiring or getting cut, so I just don't need to see him take a 6th L in a row at 38 years old when he's already broken down and old and injured and all that. Just let him retire or cut him. Don't book him another fight, please. Don't book him another fight. Just cut him already. Fall from grace, but just like Emmett, time waits for nobody. Sorry, Kattar. Next, wow, actually, right after that, another guy whose time has kind of passed by, but even though, unlike Kattar, this guy was never that great. He's more just entertaining more than he was talented, but, you know, we still liked him, but yeah, his age is definitely starting to get to him more. We have another guy we all love because he's entertaining, but another old dude who's kind of just breaking down and not as good as he once was, if he was ever that really good to begin with. We have maybe for a minute everyone's favorite featherweight, Nate the Train Landwehr. Yeah, the train has definitely fallen off the tracks now. Like, he had a nice little run from 2021 to 2023, but ever since that Ige fight, he's not been the same. He beat Emmers, but he looked awful. He's a Choi and Chevier. And yeah, I think his chin's just kind of gone. His durability is gone. He's just taking a lot of fucking damage, and he's just not the same train that he was even 2 years ago. You can give him another fight. If he loses, you gotta cut him. Like, we like Nate the Train, but even compared to a guy like Feely or fucking Erosa, I think Landwehr might be more fucking beat up and washed than they are somehow. And they've been in UFC longer and fought more, so they just seem like Nate's a little bit done. And yeah, if you give a tomato can, yeah, he would probably beat him. But outside of that, like, anyone halfway decent, especially with decent power, would put him in the fucking dirt again. Which sucks, because again, who doesn't like Nate to Train? But kind of like Kattar, it's just kind of done. I think time has passed him by. But yeah, it was one nice little run, but people are learning if you don't go into a firefight with this guy, you can beat him easily. And yeah, that's just I think we're just kind of not really much more juice left in the tank or in the train. I mean, one more fight, more than likely that he loses and then gets cut, which sucks, but I think he'd be fucking perfect for BKFC. So maybe that'd be a good thing for him. We'll see. Yeah, he's just for the UFC. I just think the train's kind of done at this point, which sucks to say, because who doesn't like Nate Train, but yeah, Train can't run forever, and this one has definitely started to slow down, so would love to see him get back on track, but I just struggle to see how he's looked lately. We'll see, but I have my strong doubts, so hope I'm wrong, but I doubt it. Next, back to failed prospects. So we went from old dudes to now a failed prospect, former road to UFC winner, even though the fight was a robbery. We have Yeong Lee. We're not talking about road to UFC guys in a minute. Let's talk about him. Lee was a winner of the season, even though, let's be honest, this was a robbery, and since he's kind of been not great, did looked okay here, lost, picked him to lose as the favorite twice, thank you. Yeah, he's just not that good. I don't really need to say much here, this dude's just not very good. Like again, realistically, he should be 1-3 in his last 4. Not like Daniel Santos is a good loss. Tighter meal, he's not great. Yeah, this dude's just not great. Just another shitty road to UFC fighter, for being honest. He's not the worst by any means, not even close to the worst fighter we've talked about, but I don't think he's that good. I think he's better than Bazookia, but probably not anyone else that I've said. Like, I think Jenkins would beat him pretty easily. So yeah, I just don't think Lee is that good, and again, just like a lot of guys, another loss in 2026 and he would be cut, so when that more than likely happens, let's not be too shocked. Pretty simple there. Next, a guy who got fraud checked right at the end of 2025, so no need to say much here. A guy who I was hoping would have been in top 15 after the last fight, but he lost, so now he's, kind of fraudy. We have the guy who was looking great until he wasn't, Shepe Marshall. Fucking Pat Sabatini had to cuddle him to death and ruin everything. Yeah, it sucks to call Shepe a fraud, but yeah, that Sabatini fight was bad. He had one good moment, and that's about it. You know, I guess I remember you could have made a case for him winning, but he didn't look that good at all. And, yeah, so he seems like he's gonna kind of be very decent, but never really more than that. Top 25, he would beat a lot of guys, but doesn't seem like after that fight, could you make case from beating Moki Costa? No. Danny Day? No. Well, maybe. Guys like that, probably fucking not. So, he's decent, but yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like he has the most tools to be a top 15 guy, and yeah, that sucks, because, Chepe was cool, nice underdog story, but yeah, he looked really bad in that Sabatini fight, and yeah, kind of ending the year a bit fraud-like. Maybe he'll bounce back. More than likely he will, because he is still pretty alright, but yeah, the Pat fight was not great for him. That was definitely the worst case scenario for him, so if he can bounce back, hopefully he does, and he probably will, because he's still decent, but yeah, that was just not his best work at the end of the year, so yeah, we'll see if Shepe can bounce back. Not really too much else to say there. Next, speaking of people who got robbed in 2025, let's talk about one of the biggest robbery victims of 2025, Myron Santos' daddy, Francis Marshall, who actually commented on my Instagram post. Shout out to him. Yeah, Marshall coming off a win against Myron Santos, where he clearly beat him. Everyone agrees. 2-2 in UFC, or 3-2 in UFC. My bad. And actually, he's 4-1 if we're being honest. Let's be fucking. He should be 4-1. Only lost to Dolgarian. Marshall's actually really decent. If you really look at his record and you put these as W's like they should be, Marshall's actually a pretty decent fighter. Like, especially if you're high on Myron for whatever fucking reason. Like, this dude's actually kind of solid. 4-1. Young still. So hopefully he gets back. Hopefully he gets back in there sooner than later and gets another win to move to 5-1. So I'm really thinking about it. It's crazy that this dude should be. What should he be? Fucking 10-1. He should probably be right now. Yeah, he should really be 10-1, which is insane. He's decent. He's clearly pretty decent if you can fucking knock off these guys people pretend are good like Myron and Gomez. And yeah, he only lost it to Dolgarian, who actually is good, but he's just fucking stupid. Yeah, I feel bad for Marshall, but he seems like he's in good spirits about everything. Excited to see him fight again 26. Hopefully, just don't go to the judges, please. And yeah, should be 10-1. Hopefully 11-1 after his next fight. Not much to say. The judges hate this guy for some reason, but we all know he is Myron's daddy. And yeah, not very much else to say there. Between him and Delgado, I don't know who got fucked over more. They both got equally fucked. So, feel bad for them. Fuck the judges. Marshall's 10-1, and Myron's daddy. Next, speaking of, well, I guess we're talking about Myron. Let's talk about the guy he just beat pretty easily a few weeks ago. Not gonna say much here because I just talked about him a few weeks ago, and I'm not a fan of this guy anyway because I don't think he's that good. I think William Gaffarov is way better. Muhammad Naimov, the man who just got bitched out by Myron Santos. Yeah, this guy's not very good. Like another guy with debatable wins on his record or losses. He should be 4-3 in the UFC because he lost this fight completely. Yeah, he's ass. His wins are all against bad fighters or bad chins like Malarkey, and then Lima, Myron, who's not even good, and Nathaniel beat him. Yeah, Naimov's not very good. Again, I think William Gaffarov is 100 times better, and I think Naimov is very below average. Like, would I call him a can? No, because who is a can in this division, I think, are much worse than he is. And plus, we've seen him beat up cans in this division. But I don't think he's very good. Like, again, I would maybe he'd beat Jenkins, but, like, he wouldn't, even against a guy like Marscal would wipe the floor of him. I don't know. Like, again, you got destroyed by Myron Santos. That's all you need to know. He's just not. He's okay on a good day. Gaffarov is the better Tajikistan lighter weight fighter, and yeah, let's be honest, this dude's really 4-3 in the UFC. So you got bitched by Myron Santos. Enough said. You suck. Next. He's a lightweight now. Not gonna talk about Kyle Nelson tomorrow. No, we'll save that another one. And I could. That would make tomorrow easier, but he's a lightweight, so when you first talk about him in lightweight. So same thing for Ortega. There you go. So we can do this. Actually, we're in close to the bottom already. I'll make sure I didn't skip over anyone in any of these jump downs, but I haven't know it. Which is good, so let's continue. And I saw who the next name is, and it's a very intriguing name after his one fight this year. The man with now the most records for knockdowns in a UFC fight, because Jason Herzog wanted him to get a murder case. We have Steven Wynn, a record breaker in 2025, the holder of the worst stoppage of the year. Not his fault, but he was in this fight. Yeah, let's be honest, like, cool win, happy beat up Muhammad Yahya, but yeah, this dude's not good at all. He lost to Alon Cruz on a Contender Series years ago, and I remember Cruz being a shit fighter in the UFC. Cunningham's a joke. Aaron's beat him. Yeah, this dude's not good. Great win against Yaya. That was great. You should have finished him on the first knockdown. Herzog was stupid. But yeah, this dude's outside of that record thing. Is he good at all? No. He fought. I will literally say Muhammad Yahya is the worst featherweight I've ever seen. So Stephen Wynn wiped the floor with him. Again, I don't think Wynn would. I would take Naimov to beat him, to be honest. He'd probably beat Bazookia, but outside, like, that'd probably be the best guy he could actually beat. I don't think Wynn's that good at all. So, great Yahya performance. I'll give you that, but yeah, I don't think he's that good at all. And yeah, so great record breaker against the worst featherweight ever. About nice thing I can say. Besides that, I don't think this dude's good at all. And clearly Jason Herzog fucking hates him, so there you go. Next. Well, actually, this is an interesting guy to talk about. He's kind of the first Yada Yada Valley who was on the bad end of a faked fight. I think he's still on the roster. It says he is. He hasn't been cut yet, and he hasn't fought in forever. We have the first guy to be part of a fixed fight back a few years ago. If you know, you know. Shylander, then Bekov. One of these Chinese dudes who somehow has like 50 fights at the age of 25. Rongju is actually good though. Shylan, obviously we all know what he's known for, that Derek Minner fight where Minner came in injured, James Krause did his stupid, we know the story. If you don't, look it up. Aside of that, Shylan's really done nothing in the UFC besides be mid, hasn't fought since June of 2015. Like I've said for a few other guys, with these guys who don't fight for a while, don't be shocked if out of nowhere they just get cut. Like it happened with Lake Radzibov a few weeks ago, a guy who was just not most active on and then on a random like Tuesday night he'll just be cut alongside a few other people. So hopefully he comes back 2026. I don't think Shylan's that terrible. I don't think he's that good. Like if they cut him, you'd be cutting nothing. Let him go back. Let him go to One or Ryzen or wherever the fuck he wants to go. So I don't think he's that good. Again, I would barely put him over against Bazookia, who I guess seemed like I guess Bazookia is the fucking the measuring stick for good or for mid or shit. And Shylan is kind of whatever. Again, Garcia and Melky Casa are a crazy 2-fight losing streak to look back on. And yeah, we'll see if we get Shylan back in 2026 or if he's randomly off the roster in like fucking a random Thursday night in March where he's getting cut. So one or the other. At least he'll always be remembered for that Minner bullshit. It's not a good thing to be remembered for, but you can't blame him for that. And yeah, second guy who, all I can say for these guys who haven't fought in 2025 is either they're gonna get cut or hopefully they fight or hopefully we see them back in 2026, because it sucks to see its roster spot get taken up by someone who's not fighting. So hopefully we see Shylan back sooner than later, and yeah, at least he'll be remembered. Now fight again already. Jesus, we understand you lost 2 in a row to 2 of the best in the division. Fight again. Pretty simple. Next, well, we go from someone who needs to fight again to a guy who's already booked to fight again on that Volkanovski card in about a month. Not gonna waste much time because I think this guy's garbage, and I'm gonna say that again on the third when I do the breakdown for his fight. Then we have Folk's teammate. Only reason he's here, Khan Awful or Awfully, same thing. Yeah, Khan's terrible. He's gonna lose to Yiza in a couple weeks. Yeah, he beat Hikaru Hamos, who's a fucking joke and just got cut not long ago. Yeah, Khan's terrible. What am I really fucking meant to say at this point? I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat it. Like, I don't care, he's coming off a win. Again, Hikaru Hamos is garbage. He lost to guys like Myron and Naimov were awful. Gonna lose to Yiza. This dude's only here because he's friends with Volk and all that. He sucks. Next. Okay, another guy we've not seen fight in a hot minute. Now I think like we're getting more of those guys as we get deeper down into the weight class. Bantamweight had like 100 of them, so maybe we're getting lucky we're not getting that many. And next we have, where the fuck is he? There he is. Another guy who hasn't fought since 2024, Fernando Padilla. Our third guy who has not fought since 2024, at least it was December 24, so it's only been a year. But yeah, a whole year off for a guy who, at least he's young, 29 years old, so, yeah, I don't have much to say about Padilla. If you've never seen Padilla, the best way I can describe it is think about a shitty Manuel Torres. Like, that's literally what Padilla is, just a dollar store Manuel Torres. And I'm not really to say whatever you want about that. That's just what he is, in my opinion. Like, he's 2-2, beat Erosa, which is a good win, but also, yeah, I remember weak chin, lost to Nelson, that was debatable, beat this guy who got cut right after the fact, and then fucking lost to Woods, got knocked out by Pillow Hand Woodson. Yeah, Padilla is just a dollar store Manuel Torres. Again, hopefully he comes back in 2026. I'd be cool to see him on a Moreno card, but it's looking unlikely. And yeah, not really much to say. I think since he did fight in December of 24 at least, I'll probably give him a longer leash than guys like Shylan and the other guy who hasn't fought in like since the middle of 24. So I think if he ain't back around Noche or on Noche, then yeah, he's probably gonna get cut. But again, wishful thinking. Hopefully he fights sometime in 2026. Hopefully we see him back, and yeah, but is he really that good? No, again, he's just a shitty Manuel Torres, but hopefully we see him back, because he's just taking up a roster spot sitting on his ass, so fight again. Pretty simple. Next, one that I know people are one of the bigger names outside of the top 15. I'm not gonna say much here because I think we already know what they're gonna do with this guy more than likely. We have Lerone Murphy's bitch, another terrible signing by the UFC. Aaron Pico. I'm so shocked a dude who was pretty shitty in Bellator sucks in the UFC. Yeah, Pico is not gonna do shit in the UFC. I think he's gonna win his next fight and get in top 15 because it's gonna be against David Onama. But outside of that, he has no, like, Melky Costa, fucking, I'll fucking say guys like fucking, let's see, who would I say would beat him for sure? Erosa might beat him. Delgado would easily beat him. The dude's just not, he has a glass chin, he's a good wrestler, he's just, he's nothing special at all. Again, I think he'll win his next fight and lose. He's better than Pitbull, I'll say that, at least he's younger. But yeah, I don't think much of Pico. You got knocked out by a decision machine like Lerone badly, and yeah, you were shitty in Bellator. So what are we really meant to think outside of that? Waste of a signing, would have been better off just not signing him, letting him lose somewhere else, but UFC is stupid. They were hoping one of these guys would actually work out. None of them have outside of MVP and Kayla. And yeah, Pico's just not very good. Not very good at all. Feed Onama to him and then feed Pico to like fucking Arnold Allen or some shit. So there you go, pretty simple. Better than Pitbull, but better than guys like Pitbull and Mix, and Asakura, but yeah, that's a low ass bar. So take that as you will. Still not very good, and not gonna do shit in the UFC. If anyone actually thought he was going to, you're weird. Or you're stupid, I don't know, that's for you to decide. Next, our last of the old dudes who have bangers, even though this one is another one, kind of like Elkins at the end of the road, and actually this guy might be the most washed out of all of them. Yeah, I would say he's more washed than Nate. And we have another old dude who has bangers in the division, but that definitely caught up to him, and he just looks a shell of himself. We have Billy Quarantillo. Billy Q, great guy. Another guy who hasn't fought since 2024. Who doesn't like Billy Q? Dude has fun fights. He's a really good dude, but Yeah, his chin's a fucking mess. His chin's a joke. He's getting older. He might be the most washed out of the fucking group of him, Feely, Erosa, Elkins, and Landwehr. He has not been doing too good lately. Even that Damon Jackson one, he looked terrible. Haven't really looked good since 2022. Again, 2-fight losing streak to the Lol and Cub, where he looked awful in both. He looked alright against Cub, looked awful against the Lol. Took all of 2025 off. Hopefully, we'll see him back in 2026. Which I think he'll probably come back, lose and get cut, sadly. Well, I hate to say, because again, Billy's a good guy. You know, a good, likable fighter and guy, but being honest, I don't think he's going to be on the roster by the end of the year. And, yeah, he had a nice run at times. He always shown flashes of a guy who could be a nice prospect, but then he lost to Gavin Tucker or Shane Burgos, so he's not bad, but he's getting older. He's going to be fucking 38 in 2026. Chin's gone. Probably going to lose again and get cut. One more I can really say. Patriots, again, another guy I don't like to talk bad about. But guys like him and Landwehr and Elkins are really just fading due to their fighting style, and fighting like that for so long has made them just shells of themselves and has sped up their retirement period. And yeah, I think Billy is another one of them. Probably going to be off the roster by the end of the year, which sucks, but maybe we can go out on one more banger. That'd be kind of cool. And yeah. Sucks that Billy's kind of at the end of the road, but fun while it lasted. Who doesn't like Billy Q? And hopefully gets one more dance. So, what else can I really say? Next, oh god, then a guy who was a complete disappointment. Hopefully not what Ethan Ewing turned into. And the guy who looked great in his debut on short notice, just to be a complete can after seeing him matchy fight on the full camp. We have Roberto Romero, maybe my worst lock of the night of 2025. He should have beat Timmy Kwamba. Every piece of common sense would say that, but he didn't. He looked terrible and got beat. And now he's 0-2 and probably going to get cut in 26 after another loss. Again, hopefully not what Ethan Ewing becomes. Romero looked great in his short notice debut against Onama, but clearly that was a fake showing of his abilities, if you want to word it like that. Yeah, he's not very good. Again, if Timmy Kwamba beat you pretty easily, you're garbage. And yeah, maybe my worst lock of 25 is probably gonna get cut 26. You gave us a false sense of who you really were in your debut, and yeah, again, with Ethan Ewing, please don't do that. Be better. And yeah, Romero, you fucking bum. You disappointed me, man. I thought you were gonna be good. I thought you were gonna be something. Instead, you suck. Next. Oh, another one of their terrible signings. You know, this guy looked subpar at best. You know, they say that against a terrible fighter, so everything kind of evens itself out to where he's still a can. We have another one of their terrible signings in 2025. Robert Ruchala. I don't know how they say it, but it's Ruchala. Yeah, it's 0-1, random what is it, KSW, Octagon, where the fuck did he sign from? KSW. Signed, looked pretty ass against William Gomez, even though he still could have probably won that fight. Yeah, I don't think this dude didn't do shit in the UFC. He could probably beat a few shittier guys, like Bazooka or something, but outside of that, I think he could beat by... Fuck, I would probably take Pico and Padilla, maybe, to beat him. Richula's pretty terrible. Again, if William Gomez is giving you problems, you know, again, Richula could still have won that fight debatably, but again, you're going life and death with William Gomez. Yeah, waste of a signing. Don't know what they saw in the guy who was 2-1 going into this, and yeah. I didn't see anything good. He's probably gonna be off the roster sooner than we know it. Doesn't look like a good fighter off his debut. Kinda sucks. You lost to William Gomez in a close fight. Enough said. Waste of a signing. UFC really likes those. Like, they have a fucking affinity for that. I don't know Next, ooh, okay, the first actually halfway decent fighter we've talked about in like an hour. It feels like a guy who you might make the case for being the second best unranked guy in the division right now with his winning streak. I still think Melky Costa's way better, but you can make a case for this guy being number 2. We have Pat Sabatini. Is he the most exciting? No, he's beyond boring, but is he a decent fighter? Yeah, I would say so. Nice 3-fight winning streak since that Diego Lopez loss. Decent wins out of that. Johnson, Pierce, Brito, and Shepe. Pierce kind of sucks. Brito, Shepe are decent wins. Yeah, Sabatini can give people a little bit of an issue because he's a relentless grappler. Kind of Marab like to an extent. Not half as good as Marab, but like him a bit. And, yeah, he fine. Again, you want to say he's the second best unranked guy right now. Sure, I'd say that. I think he gets beat up by a lot of ranked guys. Kevin Vallejos, fucking Melky Costa would beat him. So, but you know, feed Pitbull to him. Who gives a shit? I'd be fine with that. You let him in top 15 at least once. He's fucking won more than he's lost. 8-2. So, pretty decent record. Feed Pitbull to him. Fucking why not? Yeah, just not really much to really say there. So, yeah, that's about that. Fine. Boring as fuck, but a decent fighter. Of course, I want to see him lose every time out because he's boring, but he's fine. Again, feed Pitbull to him if you want him in top 15 so badly. And, yeah. Can't strike for shit, can't take a punch. Good wrestler. About it. Boring. Next. Okay, this is one I know. These next two are definitely two that are gonna piss people off because people love these two guys, even though I don't see what the fuck they see in them. And we'll begin with maybe one of the most overhyped guys in the division. I don't know what people see in this guy. Gabriel Santos. Yes, I agree. He beat Lerone Murphy in his debut. That was a robbery. Lerone has got better since that fight. Gabriel has done nothing too impressive. You got knocked out by David Onama. Enough said. Since then, B. Yiza, who's pretty mid, and Jack Jenkins, who's pretty mid. Like, I think people talk about this guy like, man, Gabriel Santos could be top 15. Like, no, the fuck he can't. No, Costa wipes the floor with him. Pat Sabatini would beat him more than likely. Like, this guy might be top 35. Like, I don't see anything special in this guy. And you got beat by David Onama. Call it a fluke, whatever. That's fucking disgraceful. And then again, yes, you did beat Lerone, but again, Lerone's got better since then, and you're 2-2 and haven't fought since February, so take that you will. Yeah, I don't think much in this guy. Could this prove to age badly? Sure. He's young, 29, fine. Prove me wrong. Do I think he would beat, even if you just want to name some of the better unranked guys, Sabatini? No. Marshall? Probably not. Fuck, I say Andre Fili would beat him, to be honest. Fucking Melky Costa would beat him. Delgado would easily beat him. Like, I don't even know what we're talking about here, people. Like, I just don't see anything that special with this guy. I'm not calling him McCann. I'm not calling him McCann at all. I think he's perfectly fine. But, like, people talk about this guy like he's the next big thing. He's not. He's fucking not. By this time in 2 years, he's either gonna be off the roster or, like, 4-3? Like, he's not that good at it. Again, I can name many unranked guys that were better, so I don't know what else you really want me to say. He's fine, I'm not calling him bad, but I just don't see anything that special about Gabriel Santos. Prove me wrong, I just don't see it. And then speaking of guys named Santos, who get way too much fucking hype, even though they're not good. Actually, I think Gabriel is much better than this guy. We have one of the most overrated fighters in the UFC. Maybe my hate watch for Featherweight in 2025, 2026. The guy who I think's fucking garbage, Myron Santos. I think this is maybe the most overrated guy in the division. Again, yeah, the good thing, I think a lot of people do agree Myron is not good. Gabriel is much better. Yeah, this dude sucks. Like, he won tough, which means a shitty season. Lost to Marshall, beat Yusuf in a shit fight, beat Naimov in a forgettable fight. Like, I don't think this dude's good at all. I think there's so many better prospects than him. Delgado would wipe the floor with him. Like, etc., etc. I don't think this guy's good at all. I'll continue saying until I'm proven otherwise. Until I see this dude actually look good and beat someone decent, then I'm saying he's not good at all. Like, I've seen nothing from this dude outside of 3 subpar wins and a loss to Francis Marshall. So, he might be my hate watch. He might be my fucking hate watch for 2026. I think this dude sucks, and I can't wait to see him lose. So, I don't know what else you really want me to say. So, I'm the most overrated fighter in the division. There you go. That's all I'll really say. The dude's not good at all, and I cannot wait to see that proven sooner than later. Next, okay, I guess this guy is still on the roster. I highly doubt this guy's gonna be on the roster much longer, but you know, as of right now, he's still here, inactive for 21 months. I'm not gonna waste much time here. I highly doubt this dude's gonna fight in the UFC again. We have Eric Silva, Venezuela. Is he the only male Venezuelan? And Pena the only other one? Has not fought since February of 2024. Ain't that some shit? He did get an injury in that fight, so I'll give him a break, but yeah, it's been 2 years almost. He's 38 years old. They're not gonna have this dude fight again. He's 38, gonna be 39. He's 0-2. They're just gonna cut their losses and get rid of this guy. Won on Contender Series. Cool. That was 4 years ago. Looked terrible in both his first 2 fights. Inactive. Yeah, they're gonna cut him. I'd be more than amazed if he gets a fight booked in 2026, and even more amazed if he doesn't get crushed in it and cut afterwards. So I don't know what else there really is to say there. If I had to bet on anyone being off the roster by the end of the year at Featherweight, this would be my top pick. I'm shocked he is still on the roster. Not really much else to say. Next, for our final one of this set, before we do another scroll down, we got a very decent fighter here. The best fighter we've talked about in a hot minute. Be very decent, even though he unluckily had to fight Cavalejos, but he'll bounce back. Danny Silva. This dude's pretty decent. Young, decent fighter, 2-1, ran into Kevin Vallejos, beat 2 cans before that, but, you know, happens. This dude could get better. I think this dude could get better and become a pretty decent fighter. I'm not seeing anything that crazy in him, maybe like a top 30 guy in the division. And you make case he might already be like top 35. He's pretty solid. I think he'd beat a lot of guys people wouldn't expect him to. He never had a chance against Vallejos because Vallejos is Vallejos. But yep, so Danny is fine. He will get better. Gave Vallejos a decent fight. Yeah, he'll get better, and I think maybe in a few years he'll be like closer to like a top 25 guy in the division. So decent. He bounces back after that Vallejos fight. Hopefully he can get a good win on his record, which is really what we're waiting for, because these are some pretty ass wins. And yeah, not really too much else to say. Sucks he had to run into Vallejos, but I think Danny will bounce back just fine because he is actually pretty decent. Next, we move down again, and now Jeremy Stevens is not on the roster. He's literally just fought and beat KFC like 4 months ago, so I'm not gonna waste time there. But we will talk about the next guy, even though I don't think he's gonna fight again, but yeah, we'll talk about him for a second. And we have another OG, even though I doubt he fights again. Another guy who hasn't fought since 2024, and that probably will stay like that for the rest of time. we have the OG, probably never fighting again, Cub Swanson. 42 years old, more than likely not gonna fight again. Yeah, I don't think he's confirmed his retirement yet, but he's pretty much said he's more than likely retired. Would it be cool to see him fight again? Not really. The only fight I would want to see is him and Duo Choi running back, because I think that'd be fun, even though it wouldn't be as good as the first one. I think that'd be cool. After that, he went out on a high note. These people remember, like, people like Cub don't really need to come back to take unnecessary damage or fight like a young guy. And yeah, I think if he ends his career, if he never fights again, he went on a good note. I really don't care to see a 42-year-old Cub Swanson get back in there. Yeah, if I had that, we see him fight again. Enjoy retirement. If that's true, I wouldn't be shocked if he like confirms his retirement sooner than later. And yeah, not really much else, unless he's already confirmed. But I don't remember him confirming. I remember being and talking about it and never being confirmed. So yeah, more than likely I doubt he fights again. So thanks for the memories. Enjoy retirement, Cub. Next, actually, we have a pretty good back-to-back here of very decent fighters in this division. Speaking of the top 20 of the division, let's fill out that 20 through 16 spots a little bit more with our first guy who's been in that position what feels like forever. Another very good British fighter in this division. And I don't think people won't have a debate that he might actually be better than Arnold Allen. Then we have the very good, even though he did lose his last fight, Nathaniel Wood. Maybe the king of the featherweight top 20, because he can never get to top 15. Dude's really good, but he's always just been one rung short of being like in the top 15, a real like top guy. Lost to Delgado, got fucked against Naimov. Not the most exciting, not really. Did he have a finish in the UFC? He had 3 submissions and they were years ago. He's good. Again, people don't want to have a debate. He's probably as good as Arnold Allen, if not better. I can't talk shit on him for that Delgado win, because it's not his fault. It was a robbery. He lost that fight clearly, but you know, he's good. He's still top 22 in the division. He would beat a lot of guys. He'd beat a good amount of the guys we've talked about. I think he'd beat a lot of ranked guys. So I don't know. He's like, Nathaniel Wood's been in the same spot his whole fucking career. It seems like he's another one of those guys who has just never really been able to get past this certain marker. He's always been, and when you think of Wood, he's like, oh yeah, he's right outside the top 15. He's always been. He's never made that jump into the top 15. He's never been bad enough to fall out of that conversation. He's always just right there. Like, if there was a top 20 at featherweight, he would always be like 19 or 19 through like 16. He'd always be like right there. And it's fucking weird that he's never been able to make that jump for as good as he is. But again, it's always a few wins and then bullshit. He lost this fight, got robbed here, lost here. It's like, got beat by John Dotson somehow. It wasn't active for like 2 years. He's still decent. He's only, what, 32? So he's still young. So he still has a chance to get made in top 15. But yeah, like, and I don't even think he could ever be a champ, but I think he should have been a top 15 dude at least once in his career. And it's a shame that he's never been able to break through that glass barrier. Maybe he finally will. We'll see. I think we can confirm featherweight has the best combination of British fighters: Lerone, Arnie, and Nathaniel. That's a low bar, I know, but yeah, that's pretty good big three there, and Wood's pretty good. He always falls short at the last hurdle that would take him to the top 15, and he's always just been right there at the top 20, and it's like, we've been doing this song and dance forever. We know what we're gonna get. He's gonna win a few fights, lose, win a few fights, get robbed. It's like, it's annoying, but that's Nathaniel Wood for you. Dude's super good, but just always been right outside of the top 15, and I just don't see him breaking that cycle at this point, so would love to see him too, but I just really have my doubts about that. Hopefully I'm wrong. I just don't see Wood ever breaking that cycle at this point. Next, another guy who's right outside of the top 15 for a while, even though he's not a featherweight, if we're being honest, he's fucking gigantic. But a guy who's always been another guy who's right outside the top 15, another member of the top 20, we have Sean Woodson. One of the weirdest builds in the UFC. Maybe he's like I think every Sean in the UFC is coming off a loss now. O'Malley, Strickland, Woodson, Brady. How weird is that? And actually, Woodson is the most bullshit because again, this was a really bad stoppage in a fight that I think was 1-1. So, is what it is, I guess. Woodson's decent. I do think he was always a bit fraudy. Not saying he's bad, but I never thought like this winning streak was very weird. I'm trying to remember. I think was it this fight that was like kind of debatable. He didn't look that great here. He beat a few cans here, so lost to Johnny fucking Rosa. Actually, he got knocked out here, but this guy's a fucking idiot. Like Watson's talented, but he's always been like just short of being like. He has the potential and you can like see it, but he's just always been a little bit short of there. Like I think guys like Wood, Delgado, Melky are better, but like Woodson's easily like number 20 or 19 in that top 20. He's decent. I'm intrigued to see when he does fight again. It's been almost a year since that Ige fight, so I'm intrigued to see how he bounces back. He's decent, but I just don't think him being a top 15 guy at this point. I think his holes in his game have been exposed. As good decent as he still is, I think those holes against better fighters will be exploited, just like Ige did a bit and some others. And Woodson's good, but I just think he's been a bit short of the talent level it takes to be in top 15 at featherweight, and that's why he's never been, so. Not very much to say there. I'm intrigued to see how he bounces back 26. Maybe he'll bounce back better. But, hey, let's be honest, this dude's not a featherweight, he's a lightweight. And I just don't think he has the talent to beat the guys it would take to get to the top 15, like Wood, Delgado, Costa, Shepe, even maybe Ige, etc., etc. So, he's decent, he's tall, but I think his skill is a little behind the top echelon of guys, even though he's still probably top 20 in that division, just not top 15. Next, from two top 20 guys to the worst fighter of all time. I'm not even gonna click on his profile, he doesn't deserve it. There's no world Muhammad Yahya''s gonna fight again, and if they don't cut him, I don't know what the fuck the Saudis pay him to keep this clown around. Maybe the worst fighter I've ever seen. I truly think CM Punk looks like goddamn GSP compared to this idiot. If he fights again, then the UFC is a joke. The worst featherweight of all time, bare minimum. Good riddance, you suck. Next. Okay. This next one, we talked about his opponent, now let's talk about who's gonna win that fight. On the 31st, we have the guy who got robbed of the winning road to UFC, and then he came back and won anyway. And the one name, 5 letters, Yeza. Another guy who I can just call perfectly mid. Do I think he's good? That's a strong word. Do I think he's terrible? No. But, like, I think he's on the level of your Jack Jenkins and guys like that. He should beat Con Awfully. He's gonna beat Con Awfully pretty easily. He lost to Gabriel, which is fine. I think Gabriel's about his level. Kyron Lee's actually a really good win for people who don't know. That's actually a very solid one. A guy who probably should be UFC. Again, lost on road to UFC the first time. Yeah, he sounds fine. I just don't think too highly of him. Like, again, I'm gonna pick him to beat Con Awfully because he should easily beat Con Awfully, but aside that, I just don't think he's that great. I think he's very mid, and, yeah, he's there. Again, he's much better than some of the other road to UFC guys we've talked about, like Jiang Yan Lee. Anyway, we've not talked about many for featherweight. I think Lee might be the one that's won so far. But yeah, I don't know. The guy's very fine, and he should get his second one in a row in January. So not really much to say. Just another body in the division who's fine. About it. Next. Oh, speaking, well, this guy was on Road to UFC, but speaking of your Chinese, Koreans, whatever, those guys, if we may, we have the biggest fraud of them all. Well, speaking of Daniel Santos a while ago, let's get to the guy he fraud checked. Don't ever call yourself Zombie Jr. again, because you cannot lace zombies' gloves. Yeah, one of the biggest frauds of the year. Ju Sang Yu. Yeah, this dude sucks. Never call yourself Zombie Jr. again. You don't deserve that nickname, you fucking bum. Yeah, one of the biggest frauds of the year. Lost to Daniel Santos, which is not bad. How pathetic he looked in that fight, getting finished after taunting and all that. Yeah, this dude's a clown. So, what can you really say? Great. Still, we'll say, one of the best knockouts of the year against Jekka. Saying that your clown got beat by fucking Santos, which is a good loss, but don't forget how shitty he looked is a joke, embarrassing zombie, and you even using his nicknames even more embarrassing. You cannot lace zombies' fucking gloves, you bum fraud, and maybe learn how to fight more than taunt, so. You're not fighting Jekka Saragi, who could you could win with your hands tied behind your back. When you're fighting a real fighter, let alone someone as good as Daniel Santos, you gotta actually try. This guy's too stupid to know that, and that's why he is a bum fraud. Never use that nickname again. Don't ever disrespect Korean Zombie like that. Next, we have... can we talk about you? I guess we can talk about Yusuf as a featherweight, since he only fought a lightweight one time, and plays for not gonna be on the roster too much longer anyway. Let's talk about another guy who's completely fallen from grace, like Calvin Kattar, the guy who had a lot of hype at one point to now borderline being cut. You have Supa, Sadiq, Yusuf. Oh, what a fall from grace for Sadiq, looking like a top prospect to now being fucking 2-4 in your last fucking 6. Yeah, Sadiq was gonna be one of them guys, and then just never happened. Didn't turn out that way. Arnie beat him, Barbosa destroyed him in a great fight, Lopez destroyed him, Myron beat him pretty easily. Yeah, Sadiq's just done. His better days are behind him. Like, he is just not the same guy. Like, the Feely fight looks like the last time he was actually, like, good. Outside of that, like, that Allen fight, I guess, broke him, because he's not been the same since. I think he's probably gonna get cut. Hasn't fought since May of this year. Maybe they give him one more fight. I guess I wouldn't be the most upset with it. You know, I don't think it's very warranted. I would be fine if you cut him, but they want to give him one more fight. Fine. I think he's gonna lose anyway unless you give him complete bottom of the barrel guy, which why would you do that when you can use him to build up someone better and build up a young guy with a nice win. But we'll see what he usually does with him. It's crazy, like, talking about him, Giga, and Kattar the way we did have, like, when 2-3 years ago, those were, like, 3 of the top 10 guys in the fucking weight class, so it's crazy how quick time has changed there, and now Yusuf is borderline getting cut, so what can you really do? Yeah, just ever since that Allen fight, he's not been the same, and, who knows if he's still on the roster by this time next year. PFL might be getting a nice fucking herd of featherweights of him, Giga, and Kattar. About 5 years late, but you know, GFL might take him as well. Yusuf's better days are behind him, and I doubt he has more than one UFC fight left if he even gets that. Next. Now, actually, we got some good prospects now with some guys I'm actually excited to talk about, especially since I think they're very relevant for 2026 as guys to keep an eye on. Being with a guy who I think is completely got fucked over in terms of how people look at his last win and how good this guy is, because he actually is really good. Just his opponent's a fucking idiot. We have Yadier Del Valle. I'll continue saying, don't let Dolgarian be a dumbass fucking make you look past how good Del Valle is. This guy's really fucking good. I think this guy's a legit prospect in the division. Yes, Dolgarian's a fucking idiot who threw the fight, but that case be made, Del Valle would have won anyway. This guy looks good. In his first 2 fights so far this year, or last year he looked good. 2026, we'll see how he looks. I think he can be a real top prospect to keep an eye on in this division. One of the top names to keep an eye on in division prospect-wise. Dude's good. His striking's good. His grappling's good. He's young. This guy could be something. I really think this guy could be pretty interesting in this division. I just feel bad for him that Bulgarian would have been so fucking muddied by Bulgarian being a fucking dipshit. And, yeah, I'm excited to see the Valley get back in there and get a real win that people can actually respect and talk about, because the dude is really good. And, yeah, I feel bad for him, but I think he's gonna, I don't think there's a big worry, because I think he's gonna get back in there and show people how good he is sooner than later. So, I would say just keep an eye on Doe Valley, look past that Bulgarian shit, and, yeah, keep an eye on this kid. He's good. He's really fucking good. Like, he is a Cuban problem. He's a good prospect, man. Keep an eye on him. Trust me. Next, we have another really good prospect to keep an eye on, and a guy I'm very happy is in the UFC now, because he is very good and he deserves to be in much sooner. We have another very good prospect, Michael Aswell, a guy I'm so happy is in the UFC after getting screwed on Contender Series. Now in the UFC at Featherweight. Yeah, the Oki fight didn't go good, but I was up a weight class on short notice. Now in the UFC 1-0. This guy's good. This guy's very good. I could see this guy easily being a top 30 guy in the division. He's a really clean striker, good power. He's a good fighter. I don't think he has the ceiling as a guy like Del Valle or a fucking Costa or Delgado, but I think Aswell is really fucking good. I think he could either be a top 30, 25 guy. He's solid. I think he's a really solid fighter. I think we saw that on Contender Series. We saw that even against Oki, he put up a pretty decent showing for himself, and he looked amazing against Almeida. I think this dude's good. I'm happy he's in the UFC finally after getting screwed, and intrigued to see how far he can go. So I'm excited to see him fight again. Hopefully they get him on the Houston card. Just saying. I think it'd be pretty neat. So maybe do that UFC. And especially if Van is gonna be on it somehow. Do that. And yeah. Excited to see him fight, and excited to see him fight again. Very good prospect in the division. Another one to keep an eye on. Because either A, he's going to be a really good prospect and go far, or B, worst case, he's just going to have some really fun fights and be entertaining. So we'll see. I think he's good. I'm happy he's on a roster finally, and hopefully we see him fighting in Houston. Come on, UFC, you really want to do that. Book it. Happy he's on the roster after getting screwed on Contender Series. Long overdue. That was really dang good. Keep an eye on him as well. Him and Del Valle back to back. Pretty poetic. Those are two of the best prospects in the division going into the new year. Next, a guy who people would love to say is one of the prospects to keep an eye on, but let's be honest, this dude fucking stinks. As next we have the guy, I think the first fraud of the year, the first guy to get fraud checked in 2025 last year. Where is he? There he is. The first fraud of 2025, Austin Bashi. So we talked about C-Rod many hours ago. Now we're talking about the guy the only guy he actually beat. Yeah, Bashi sucks. He's so fucking one-dimensional. He's kind of like a worse Pat Sabatini, I guess would be the best way to look at him. Like, he's just, well, actually, no, he might be a worse Isaac Dolgarian. Truly, and I think Dolgarian might even been a little better. Looked terrible against C-Rod, beat that John Giannis dude. Marshall would have beat him, if we're being honest. I think Bashi sucks. I think Bashi's fucking terrible. I don't think he's even close to the level of guys like Del Valle, Delgado, and Aswell. I think Bashi is a complete fraud, and when he fights someone halfway decent, I'm 100% picking against him, because that dude just can't strike. His cardio sucks. Good grappler, good wrestler, but yeah, he's one-dimensional and very beatable. Again, C-Rod pretty much embarrassed him, if I'm being honest. And, yeah, he's the first fraud of 25. Not one of the biggest, but again, he's just not that good. And yeah, again, I don't look at him as a prospect at all. He's a fraud. So there you go. Not really much to say. Maybe you can prove that to be wrong in 26. Some guys have done that in the past, but I'm gonna say it's unlikely because I don't see him beating anyone with talent. So yeah, Banshee's a fraud coming off two really good prospects. We go to a fraud. And then we had a guy who I'm kind of 50-50 on. I think he's decent, but I do think he's a bit overrated. Next we have a guy the UFC is praying it, and I guess a lot of people are praying and overhyping to an extent. We have the UFC's new favorite British fighter. You know, he's not on the level of the other three we've talked about as of right now. We have Luke Riley. I talked about him with Guitar Card not long ago, but you know, I'm not sure how to feel about this dude, because he looked terrible in that Bogdan fight until the knockout, which is the only thing he really did. I think he's probably a bit overrated. I don't think he's bad, but I don't see him being anything better than maybe like a top 25 dude in the division. Like, again, I know I keep saying the same guys with Delgado, Del Valle, fucking Costa are much better than this dude. From his first fight, again, Bogdan Grod's controlling you for a round. What the fuck would Pat Sabatini do for 3 rounds? Like, I don't think this dude's awful, but I do think he's a bit overhyped from what I saw, and I do think he'll win. I don't think he's gonna get fraud checked immediately. I think he'll probably win 2 fights. He'll probably give him a lot easier of competition, but when he starts getting that higher level of competition, I would not be shocked if he gets fraud checked, because I just don't see much in the guy. Like, again, that Grod fight was super underwhelming for how much hype he had, and yeah, let's see what happens. So maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe he's gonna be the next big star. They would love that, but I don't see much in this guy from just that first fight. I think he's fine. I don't think he's a bad fighter, but I think he's overrated. Not bad, just a little bit overhyped for what I saw, which was just kind of meh. He looked fine, so feed him 1 or 2 more cans and then I'll see him fight someone legit. So still better than Patty, which is a low bar, but see what happens. To even join the convo of Wood, Allen, Lerone, that guy's gonna need to look a lot better than that against much better competition than Bogdan Grod. So we'll see. This might be one of my worst aging takes in a year, but I just don't think much of Riley at the moment. Not bad. It's a bit overhyped. Prove me wrong though. Next, Ethan Ewing, the bandweight, where I talked about him, and that looks to be about it. All the way there's 2. We'll talk about these 2 real quick. They did fight in the UFC. We'll begin with, I think he's still on the roster. Is he? I don't even fucking know. Is Manolo still on the roster? The Tapology isn't even ranked on the goddamn thing. The roster watch has Manolo Zecchini. I think he's still on the roster. There's no official statement that he ever got cut, but he hasn't fought since September of 2023, so, you know, I have my doubts. I guess they just forgot to cut this guy, and now it's been 3 years for a fight, so, you know, great. Dude, it's a complete tomato can. He literally just got signed a job to Morgan, and he did. So I guess he never wanted to fight again after that. I don't fucking know. Yeah, more than likely, I'm guessing he's cut, but he's not on the roster necessarily. So maybe he comes back in 2026 after 3 years. He's still young, only 29. So we'll see. Yeah. And then for the other one, this one I know is still on the roster because he just made his debut. We have the man we talked about a few weeks ago, because again, he just made his debut against Johnson Brito, and actually looked pretty alright. We have Isaac Thompson. I forget what I said about the fight, because it was a few weeks ago, but I remember Isaac looking fine. I am intrigued to see him on a full camp. On a full camp, he might have beat Brito, to be honest. Yeah, he did fine. He looked fine. I'm intrigued to see him on a full camp in 2026. And the only other Aussie we had is like Jack Jenkins and fucking Wakanoff and shit. So yeah, they're not really, outside of Volk, they're not very good in this division. Thompson looks fine. We'll see how he looks on a full camp. And either he'll get better and get a win, or he'll look the same and lose again. So either he'll be gone or he'll get a win in 2026. We'll see. He looked fine on short notice against Brito's not good, who is not that good anymore. So we'll see how he looks on a full camp. Not really much else to say there. And there you go, outside of Contender Series guys, just to debut, and the World UFC guys. There you go. Finally, not missing it. Oh no, now we are. Let's talk about Roman Tavares, who I don't know why he was not on here. But yes, he is a featherweight as well now. Talk about him real quick. Roman Tavares, moving up to featherweight, took a loss and missed weight. Yeah, not much to say here. If he'll fight one time in 26, lose and get cut. He sucks. No matter what weight class he's in, he's fucking terrible. How shit is Siri City? And yeah, he's fucking terrible. So he'll get cut in 26 after one more loss. Pretty simple. Not much to say there. And then I think that's everyone. Again, Willmaker's a bantamweight. Hamos actually just got cut, so I'm not gonna waste. He just got cut actually, so no point talking about him. Again, this is as close to update as you can get. It's not perfect. Again, I don't care about these new guys that are in talks with. I think we know he just got cut. What else are there to talk about? That is on here. Bantamweight, lightweight for Nelson. Caceres is literally in DBX fighting. He's not on the fucking roster. I wish he still was. I love Bruce Leroy, but he's literally in Mike Perry's bullshit. And I think that's it. So, and the only other guy I want to talk about is this clown, because I heard this dude got cut after missing weight for his debut. Apparently he didn't. He should. If he does fight, hopefully he makes weight. Dude probably sucks anyway, so yeah, we'll see if this dude actually, I swear he got cut and he deserved to get cut, but who knows what's true anymore, so here you go. But yeah, no, yeah, unless if I'm missing someone they're in talks with, actually, Danny Savatello, he should have been on the bandwagon when we just did. But yeah, unless I'm missing someone they're in talks with, I think just about everyone outside of the Contender Series guys used to debut. Let's talk about them as well. Beginning, and actually, this is the only one I'll actually bring up their Tabology page, because this is a weird case. Alberto Montez, a guy who won his contract in 2024 and still has not debuted. The only guy left from 2024 season to not have debuted yet. Did have a fight booked in April 25, got canned. What the fuck's going on with this guy? He's not young, he's 31, hasn't fought in a fucking year and a half now. Are they just gonna cut him eventually if he doesn't fight? Like, where the fuck is this dude? Hopefully he fights eventually. I remember him looking decent on Contender Series, but at this point the ring rust and being 31, it's not gonna fucking help. It's probably gonna just be a nothing burger anyway, so eventually I won't be shocked if this dude just gets cut without ever fighting. So I want to see him debut because he's the only guy left from that season not to, but where the fuck is he? Like, dude, again, like, at least he had a fight booked. That's a lot more than a lot of guys we've talked about can say. But again, it got canned, so where the fuck is this guy? Fight already. Outside of that, for the other Contender Series contract winners from this year, I'm not just gonna do what I did last time. On the Bandway one, go down, say her name, what I think. Not, again, if you want more in depth, I did that in Contender Series videos. Jose Delano, very good fighter, looked very impressive. Could be interesting. A lot of people are high on this guy. I thought he looked good. I'm traded to see him in the UFC. Then we got, I think, the best name on this list. The guy I'm very excited to see in the UFC. This kid looks good. Ramiro Jimenez. This guy's good. He looked really good on Contender Series. One of my favorite fighters of the season. I hope he debuts on that fucking Moreno card. Him and Amano, two of the best of the season. This guy's good. I had to say, anyone to keep an eye on here. Jimenez, he's pretty decent. Marcio Barbosa, fun fighter. Don't know how far he can go in UFC, but I think he had like 20 wins, or he had a bunch of wins, like most of them are by knockout, if not all of them. Fun fighter, good power. Do I think he's gonna go far? We'll see. I think there's a few guys who are better than him, so we'll see. Tom McMillan, Sean O'Malley Jr., pretty much trained by O'Malley. I think he's talented, but I think he's too green to be in the UFC right now. I'm excited to see him fight, but I just think he's a little green for the UFC, so I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't start off amazing, but he does get better. So I'm a bit worried, because again, I do think he's a little too green, but he had a great fight. Should have been a draw, and the other guy should have got signed as well, but whatever. Justice for David McGoyan. And, yeah, so I see what O'Malley 2.0 can do, even if he is a bit too green. Next, Larion Douglas, fun veteran who has a bunch of finishes on all that. Good signing, good veteran addition. Javier Reyes, kind of the same thing. Kind of the same thing. I think I lost my voice there. Fun veteran signing, good addition, cool. Then maybe the most intriguing name on this list, Murtazali Magomedov. Yes, Magomedov, would love to see it. He looked really good. He actually has striking. This guy could be a problem. This guy could probably be a problem. Young, long name, ends in OV, Magomedov. This guy could be a problem. Maybe the most hyped up guy on this list, Curtis Campbell. Didn't see much, like he kind of fought a tomato can, but, you know, British, they love him. Some Brits. So they are prying him and Luke Riley are good. We'll see. Hopefully he debuts on that London card, see how good this guy really is. I'm intrigued. And then I'd say the worst name of the worst fighter on this list, Marwan Rahiki. He had a great fight in Contender Series under contract for sure, but I don't think this dude's good at all. I think he's a complete can. He's gonna get destroyed by real fighters. And, yeah, I don't think he's good at all, so I think he's easily the worst out of this year's featherweight signings, or last year's, but prove me wrong. And now there you fucking go, finally. I'm losing my voice by the goddamn minute, man. Yeah, there's the featherweights. Very fucking good weight class going into 2026. It's gonna be a fun weight class. So many good fighters. Like, to go over some of the basic things, like, well, not basic, but you know what I mean. My favorite fighters, of course, who doesn't love Volkan Diego, even that fight is stupid. Melky Costa's amazing, top one. Jose Delgado in year two, after let's be honest, going undefeated in year one. I'd say those are probably the top names. So I'm not counting Contender Series guys, like I said. And again, Volios and Costa, no shit, watch them. But yeah, I'd say Yadier might be number one on that list, but there's a few other really good ones like that as well. And Delgado, who can really make some noise. And then who do I think is going to be cut for sure by the end of the year? Or a very good chance of it. Eric Silva's probably the most likely. John Giannis probably. Yaya, Romero, Tavares. Really going to be cutting down featherweight. Melsick if he pulls out another fight. Bazookia, Almeida, Shyland if he doesn't fight. Lee, Cater, Billy fucking Q, man, that sucks to say. I love Billy Q. Emil, Grod, fucking, who else is there? Yusuf. Elkins should retire. I wish they would cut Ciarán, but I don't know if they would. Padilla, if he doesn't show up to fight anytime soon. Landwehr. Like, there's a lot of names who are on hot seats going into the year. Duo Choi just for not fighting. Cub Swanson's gonna retire, more than likely. Josh Emmett. So there's a lot of names who are definitely on some hot seats in that fucking division, so we'll see what happens. And then lastly, what fights am I most looking forward to that are either booked or going to be booked? I would say number one would have to be Lerone and Evloev. How would you not be excited for that? Be excited for that. Hopefully we get Yair and Steve Garcia. I would love to see that fight. Gene and Arnie is gonna be great. Melky getting a top 15 fight. Hopefully, Vallejos and Josh Emmett, please. Or any Vallejos fight would be awesome. Who else would I be in the? What I'm trying to think. I think those would be top ones. So, like, who knows what else they do with these other guys. I'm not excited for it, but if I'm right, I would like see Pico Nama. I think it'd be a really good fight and logical one for Pico. So, and yeah, so that's about that. And I guess again, the final question: will Volk still be champion by the end of the year? I say no. I think it's very unlikely because either A, he's gonna retire, or B, lose. So I just struggle to see Volk staying champion once again. He fights on the 31st and doesn't fight again until 2027, which is unlikely. That I struggle to see Volk still be champion, but we'll see. And then the final thing is just like flyweight and bantamweight. This is the second to last time we gotta do this. Let's take a look at the road to UFC fight because we're gonna be getting a new featherweight on the roster, and this might actually be the best. This is, I think, the best road to UFC finale fight of these four. If I had to tell you to watch any of them, this is the one. As we have Sebastian Sesley versus Kainichiro Nakamura. This is a fucking 10 out of 10 fight. Both guys UFC level. Sebastian, I think, is a mix of Gunnar Nelson and Volkanovski. Weird mix, I know, but he's so good. Nakamura is really fucking good. I think both of these guys are UFC level. This is gonna be a fucking amazing fight. Whichever guy wins this, I think, is instantly a top. Even the loser, I think, is a really interesting prospect add to the division, and I'm very excited for it. So I'm excited. I'm very fucking excited, and this is the best one. Again, this and the fucking bantamweight one are two best. Those are four good fighters. This one's kind of weak, and we'll talk about this one tomorrow, but this is the best one. So whoever wins here, instantly a prospect in the division. But finally, with that being said, there you go. Of course, this was about as long, I think, what, a minute or two less than bantamweight. Oh joy! And we still got these two weight classes, which are bigger. I'm not gonna have a voice soon, but I do this shit for y'all. I love y'all, and hope y'all enjoying this so far, because we got many more to go. So let's get comfy and let's talk about more weight classes. I'm gonna fucking not say another word for like a day until I record the lightweights. So there you go. 3 down, the 3 lightest weight classes, and then tomorrow we do the 155ers. So it's gonna be very interesting, and I will say it again. Hopefully not as long as this and the bantamweights, but you know, pain. So we'll see what happens, and yeah, very fun though. Very fun. Can we just get to heavyweight, which is gonna be like 48 minutes, please? Whatever. Not very much more I can think to say outside of that. I'm tired of talking in more ways than one, and there you go. Featherweight's done. Tomorrow the lightweights. Hope y'all enjoying this idea so far, and we got many more to do, so let's do it. By saying, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 200 subs go by the end of 2026. As always, unless I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am, and I don't think I even could at this point. I can't talk. My voice is gone. As always, I say, RX. Out. Good vibes. Only. And always. No more 2.5 hour videos, please.